Chatbox, what are y'all doing back here? Wait a minute, I was just vibing on the way in. I was doing my thing. What in the world? Well, welcome on in, Netherlings. Give your cousins a warm welcome. All right, show them a little bit of arson. Show them around the club. Welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed the Stanley Parable. I'm breaking the fourth wall right now. I'm talking through my loading screen. I've gotten into the habit lately. I don't plan on breaking it. Oh, goodness. Hey. Welcome on in. If Koo's in that mix as well, lovely to see you too, brother. Lovely to see you once again. I can't wait until we start carrying an egg together. So it's a reference to a thing. It's a collab plan. Don't worry. We're not. It's not like together like seahorses. I mean, it could be. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Carry them forward. Never let yourself be... What the fuck? Yeah, all right. I see. I start streaming, I'm under attack immediately. Okay? Don't let your dreams be dreams. I think Koo is pooping, dog. It's fine. You know, it's all good. Our dads are tossing us over the fence to each other's houses again. Yeah. What's up, Nether pals? How goes? Is it canon that Kool-Aid's egg? Oh, good God. Okay. But to be fair, though, we gotta pass you guys between the two of us, all right? It's like Koo does the school run, and then I get in the kitchen when it's home. You know? I'm the stay-at-home mother. He's the one that goes and drives you to school. It's the tradition. I'm allowed to poop. Yes, you are. You're free to poop. Follow your dreams, Koo. Don't let your dreams be dreams, brother. Oh, goodness. It is good to see you, though, bro. It is very, very good to see you. And of course, I hope you enjoyed the Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable is an absolutely goated game, so I do hope that you had a fun time with it. If it was your first time playing, like, hell yeah, get it. Absolutely get it. I played it last year, and it was like a blast. Genuinely a blast. Can you get us fast food in the drive-thru? Oh, I see. I slave over a hot stove all day long, trying to make you a nice warm meal for when the kiddos get home from school, and all you want is to go through and get something from the drive-thru. You know, I see how it is. I see. What the fuck are you doing? Get him? What is the get hims? So you're the one who's pregnant? No, I'm not pregnant, okay? I'm not. We've had this conversation before. I'm an incubus, all right? It was a fun time. Hope you have a fun time with TinyGlade. I love TinyGlade. Have you tried TinyGlade, Koo? Can I extol the virtues of TinyGlade to you? It is the single most relaxing game I have ever played. We'll like some more food after McNuggies. True. If the pupils' appetites are anything like the Netherlings, then they are going to absolutely devour everything, right? Trust me. I feel like the Netherlings devour everything. That's because they're kind of low-key a cosmic swarm that devours all that's in front of them. They're kind of the devouring swarm. But, you know, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's the way your cousins are. Don't worry about it. Oh, good. Zanny pregnant. No. You know what? You're making me tap the sign. You know what? I'm going to tap the sign. Stay right there. I'm going to tap the sign. Where's the sign? You guys know, some of you know how this goes. All right, give me the sign. There we go. All right, I'm tapping the sign. I don't want this child. I don't want this child. I don't want this child. Not the sign. Valiant, thank you very much for the boop. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. And of course, the 𝓂𝓸𝓾 as well. Thank you very much for the 𝓂𝓸𝓾, darling. Let's go. Thank you very, very much. Oh, darling. Thank you. And of course, Cloudiness. We got shoved back to Uncle's Annie. Teehee. No sus noises, though. Yeah, what was the deal? Actually, I know what the deal is, but I'm just saying, it's very interesting being on the other end of raiding in and hearing someone be like... It's very, very interesting to be on the other end of that. You know? Normally it's me doing that. This time, though, this time we actually get to be raiding it. It reminds me of when Ryzar raided in while we were playing Baldur's Gate 3 right at the start of the Mind Flayer sex scene. That was great. That was great. I got to have a whole audience for the Mind Flayer sex scene, which was fantastic. 11 out of 10. He needed a moment. The entire stream was even weirder. Okay. But that's why he's my brother, okay? That's why he's my brother. That's why I love him. He's an amazing, weird little guy. Like, you know? To think these two weirdos have actually, like, kept an eye on each other and looked out for each other for God knows how long. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. To think. You can tell like attracts like. Anyway. And just eternally cozy core, the headlock Netherling. Thank you very, very much for the super. Time to count eepy sheepies with the Incubus. Damn straight. For those of you who don't know, Tiny Glade is like the most relaxing game I have ever played. I love it. It is so much fun. It is just fantastic for getting you to just like wind down. So if you want a game which is like really creative, really chill, kind of just about like building tiny towns and getting to create picturesque vistas, this is the game for you. And it's really nice. It's just a good yap game. I got my coffee. I got my coffee. I got like a little snack. I'm doing my thing. This is actually just like such a thing. Just a thing. Just a thing. What the fuck is going on here? Did I tweet? I'm pretty sure I tweeted. Let me double check that I tweeted. Let me triple check that I made my tweet. No, don't start a Twitter space while I'm live. Oh god. Don't start a Twitter space. Oh my dear. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. And Raum out code in the club. How goes Raum out code in the club? Hehe, get him, Melly. Why are we having an Avengers moment? Why are we having an Avengers moment? Why are we Are we having a, like, yeah, okay, Netherlings assemble, right? Why, why is this the moment? Like, you're all just gathering around being like, oh, well, time for a beat down. Time to get him. But thank you. Thank you very much for the Akachaka realm. And of course, a big mwah to you. Oh my days. I did go grocery shopping, by the way, in between streams. I also broke my nail, which is like a thing, which I didn't think I'd do, but somehow I broke it on like the basket in the store. So like my days. There we go. Oh goodness gracious me. Why not? True. I could picture you dressing your Netherlings up for cosplay. That would be adorable, actually. Like, little jellies dressed up. You sound like a mom. Why are we having an Avengers moment, right? Right. Like, why are we having an Avengers moment, guys? Come on. I told you not to have pixie sticks before bed. They're filled with sugar. Ouch. Yeah, right. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I literally was like picking. It was such a stupid way to like break my nail as well, because I have like short nails, right? So like, I literally like leant down to pick up a basket. You know, like the store baskets, the plastic ones. I must have hit at like just the right angle, because it literally like just cracked the corner of my nail through, and I was like, oh no. And then I'm like, ah shit, I'm bleeding. And I was like, what the fuck? Because it like didn't hurt. I was like, what the helly? What the helly? And I'm like, why is there blood now? I'm like, what? Stop it. Stop. I was like, stop. So I had to have this awkward moment in the grocery store where like one of the little like assistants came up to me like, are you okay, sir? Because like there was like a little bit like there were like drips, and I was like, oh no, it didn't hurt. That's the thing. I just did it without realizing. Like I just went, oh, what? Like, so like I was like, oh, I'm okay. And they're like, do you need a band? Do you need first aid? And I'm like, I'm okay, I think. Like, it didn't. I was like, yeah, like, ooh. And they're like, oh, okay. Because they like stopped me because they like saw that I was like dripping on the basket, and I was like, I'm okay. I'm sorry if you're the one to clean this. I'm sorry. Like I can get tissues or something. Like, no, just you're fine. Just move. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. It was so awkward. I was like, I'm so sorry. I tried to pick up a basket and somehow I managed to roll a nat 1 on basic coordination. Like, I somehow managed to roll a nat 1 on picking up an inanimate object. It caused myself damage, which is like great. Pupils, for those who don't know, Motherbrand, the mother of Zander Netherbrand, Motherbrand, she's of the belief that it took me about 2 years, about a year and a half, right, to convince Motherbrand that what I had here was like an actual job, like an actual like thing, you know, like I actually like this, like VTubing's like a genuine thing you do, right? Motherbrand for an extended period of time believed that this was a kind group of people on the internet who had formed a community around the idea that her son was too incapable to be left alone. So they were just concerned that he didn't die and were checking up on me to make sure I wasn't dead. And I didn't like have an accident and die one night or something. She thought that it was just a bunch of people who were like checking in to make sure that I didn't die. And I was like, oh. And she's like, oh, so they sit there and watch you stream? And like, yeah, oh yeah, we sit there and we hang out and we stream, like, and they make sure you're okay? And I'm like, yes. And they check if you're not around. And I'm like, yes. I mean, so they're just, you know, they're keeping an eye on you. And I'm like, Mother, this isn't adult care. Come on, stop it. I mean, it's some of the truth. It's some of the truth. Listen, you're motivated by entertainment, not concern. It's entertainment, not concern. Tee-hee. It kind of checked. Don't even. And Melian, thank you for the silver. You took my first hacker Incubus, and now the war begins. Why is that scary as fuck? Why is that horrifying? Why is that terrifying? What? That's low-key Okay, based. Okay, based. Fucking get it. All right. Our battle will be legendary. Legendary. Oh goodness, a little of both. I told you I was scary. True. Yes. All Netherlings are inherently a little bit scary though. I feel like you guys like share some scary genes with the pupils, you know, where you have that little bit of like that aggression ready to go, you know, like you're all cutesy 1 minute and then the next minute you're like whipping a switchblade out of your wool, you know. Like, you got the floof around your neck and you're like, yeah, you know, joy. And then the next minute, reach into your floof, whip out a blade, and you're like, I need to cut a bitch. Just there looking all cute and everything. You're like, I'm going to cut a bitch now. Excuse me. Oh, goodness gracious me. We're cousins after all. True. Closely related. Indeed. There is shared DNA there. It's the arson in us. It's the arson. Closely related arson. Sounds about right. I like when you said what you said in one stream. We become eldritch horrors when you aren't looking, but we're cute around you. I'm just saying there's no reason that can't be canon. I'm just saying there's absolutely no reason that's not canon. Like, I don't know what you look like when I'm not there. So, like, I don't know. What I don't know. I do know that I'm becoming an eldritch horror at some point. So, like, it would make sense. And if I get the eldritch horror thing from, what, this place, then, like, it would make sense if you guys came from this place and I became a thing that you did that like it was already here. So it kind of makes sense from like the A to the B to the C on that, you know. You know, you get what I mean? Oh goodness. And of course, Jojo, thank you very much for the 6 months. 6 months. Nether pals, if you're questioning why is my Oshi at least once per stream, are they really got Oshi? If you're not questioning why is this my Oshi at least once per stream, okay, I think that's something else that bro and I have in common. It's the why is this my Oshi? What did I do? How did this come about? Why is that? What happened? It's cute. It's the dream. We're living the dream. Hey, and Yorumori, arigato gozaimasu, Yorumori. Thank you. I can stay up late tonight. Hey, very nice. Let's go. Still make sure to get some good sleep, though, okay? You can stay, come on, get cozy, stay up late. This can be like a stream to usher you to rest, you know? It can be a nice, relaxing stream to help you wind down before you end up heading off to the land of dreams. That's what I'm thinking, you know? Either way, it's a delight to see you, Yorumori. An absolute delight. And of course, Zime is lost. Thank you for the 9 months. Mwah. Runs and hides. Well, hi. Well, hi, little creature. Well, hi there. How goes? And of course, Kay, arigato gozaimasu as well. Thank you, Kay. And a big mwah to you. Thank you for the 5 gifted jellies. And of course, if you did happen to receive a jelly ship, welcome to the Netherbranded. We do have a Professor Netherbrand class coming up this Sunday. So if you are interested in like getting started as a creative or a VA, or maybe even starting to run your own small business, then like that's going to be the class for you. It's going to be literally about like managing yourself as a creative, how to, you know, begin sort of learning about like how to be a VA, how to start sort of doing like related creative endeavors, and also how to like make your way across. And you know what? I kind of get to fist bump myself right now because I got cast as a thing like an hour ago. So based, I hope you enjoy that. It's actually going to be it's actually a pretty awesome project. It's you might recognize some people in it. Gives you a little nod. Oh goodness gracious me. Oh, smirks. Smirks. Oh goodness gracious me. Wait, what? OMG? Oh yeah, oopsie, that happened like at the end of last stream. Yeah, I got the message at the end of last stream. I was just like grabbed and they were like, do you want to do a thing? And I was like, sure. Gonna miss being cozy because I'm in the car traveling. Hey, it's all good. Get cozy. It's all good. Well, I don't miss getting cozy, but like enjoy the journey is what I mean. Like chill, enjoy the journey, do the thing. Is it Matthew Mercer? No, because if I encounter Matthew Mercer, I have to challenge him to Mortal Kombat. I have to. We have to stake the 9 realms upon whoever, you know, emerges alive from that. Listen. You all know that Matthew Mercer triggers me, okay? You know it. You know. You wave him in front of my face and go, "Hey, Zander, it's red rag to a bull," okay? Listen. I will not be baited, despite you waving that gentleman in front of me. I will not, okay? I will not. Okay, there is a reason, and I am justified, and I am correct. All right, I am correct. Let me live. Let me live, bruh. Let me live. Okay. Actually, do you guys want some tea? Do you want some really funny tea? This is actually like TTRPG tea. This is very, very funny TTRPG tea. If it's D&D related tea, but you guys reminded me. So like it's actually piping hot D&D related tea though. So you guys might know that I was offered to be a beta tester for the new Anne Rice TTRPG, like tabletop game that is coming out, right? So I was offered that less than a week ago. I want to say maybe 4 days ago type of thing, right? Now, the reason why this was timed the way it was, and I made a guess when I was offered that, because I thought it was very interesting that I was offered a beta test for that at the time I was, because that's the time when normally it was an aggressive lean in because of how unhappy people were with Vampire the Masquerade, right? And I thought that was really interesting that they were making a play for Vampire the Masquerade's audience. Meanwhile, immediately after, literally last night, I received another email from White Wolf asking if I was interested in alpha testing Vampire the Masquerade V6. as it went public, because they're doing a public alpha, and they wanted to just let me know that they're doing a public alpha for Vampire the Masquerade V6, and they did that like a few days later. So to put it in VTuber terms for those who need a little rundown, all right, for those who wanna have this broken down into VTuber terms. Essentially, your Kamiyoshi, or the guy who's been your Oshi for a while, has kind of been hasn't really been pulling his weight lately, and has been kind of acting like a bit of a dick and taking you for granted. Meanwhile, some new guy has just pulled up and had a really fucking cool debut, and has started like hinting, hey, I got some big stuff in the works. I got some cool stuff happening. So now the first guy's turned around and realized, wait a minute, why is everyone looking at someone that's not me? And immediately announced that he's doing a new outfit. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent. They 100% whipped out a playtest for V6 because people were looking at the Anne Rice one. I know the interview with the vampire one. They so were. I know they were. Like, the timing's too close. It's literally within 4 days of each other that they're going, oh, well, we'll just quickly do a public playtest to show how good the new one's gonna be. I know this game. I've beta tested too much before. I know this game. Oh, goodness gracious me. And Freak Bun, the freakiest of the buns. Thank you very much for the super. I can't wait to cry at the amount of sap this stream. You don't know, it could be cozy. I'm just building little homes in cozy little places. What's the worst that could happen? And now, Ryan, thank you for the 10 gifted jellies as well. Thank you very much, and a big mwah to you as well. And those have received, welcome to the Netherbrand, and enjoy your jelly ship to Netherbrand University. Let's go. And of course, this is giving as well. Thank you very much for the gifted jelly, and of course, it's lovely to see you again. Let's go. Let's go. A big mwah to you. And hey, oh, Vigay, thank you very much for the super. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. My daughter is helping me translate. I'm very excited for my first stream being a member in this community. Warm regards. Oh, wait. Is that who I think it is? Wait a minute. Is that who I think it is? Is that oh, wait a minute. I think that might be who I think it is. Well, welcome to the community. It is lovely to see you. Get on in here. And I hope you have an absolutely lovely time. I hope that you find this place as much of a delight as I do. And speaking of delights, by the way, Leron Lockhart of First Stage Productions. Let's go. Leron Lockhart and the Lockharts. Everyone's coming by Club Netherbrand this evening. Let's go. The place is jumping. Why, hello there. Meow raid, eh? Meow meow. Welcome in, Lockharts. How's things with Lilo? I hope you guys had fun. We're just getting started for some cozy tiny glade. What were you guys up to today? What? How goes? We've already got the pupils in here as well. We got the Netherlings, we got the pupils, we got the Lockharts. Like we got the purple, we got the grey, we got the pink. It's all good to go. Meowdy there, Lockharts. How goes? Welcome. What were you guys up to with Lilo? Did you guys have fun? Cousins. That's true. We got lots of cousins. We do have we've got both the sets of cousins in. All we need now is like what? The Maramomis, and we'd be complete. There would be the Maramomis and the Rizors. We got half the cousins here. We did have fun. We played a scary game. Ooh. Well, this is going to be a bit of a wind down from the scary game. We're going to be playing something very cozy. We're going to be playing a comfy, cozy kind of game. So it should be good. It's a little bit of a relaxed type of thing. I do wonder what horror game you played though. Very fun. Ooh. I'm not involved with the raids. I'm just an indie. I'm going meow. Perfect. Well, welcome in. The cousins coming in. Hey, and Dolly-Ann, thank you very much for the super. It's exactly who you think it is. I had to translate for her so I can vouch. Oh, well, welcome your mother into the community from me. Give her a mwah. And of course, it's a delight to have you both here. So thank you very, very much. This is going to be a very relaxing stream, and I think it'll be a perfect first stream as well. So It's going to be nice. It's going to be comfy. It's going to be cozy. It's going to have a little bit of yapping, and it's going to have a lot of cute sheep. So, let's go. Knew it. Right. Exactly. Arson. Family reunion. Literally a family reunion. No, it's actually genuinely like one of the absolute like delights how close the Netherlings, Rhizors, Lockats, Pupils, and like and Maramomis are. Like genuinely, like that fivesome of like everyone just sort of like waving high and bouncing between each other is such a delight. It's one of those rare things I think in like VTubing to find like 5 individuals that, you know, that have like they're like gens separate between them. There is like there's not even like a shared company between all 5, but like there's still like that crossover between all of them, and like there's so much like enjoyed space there. That really like works. That's a very sweet thing, and I think that like it's one of those things I'd love to see more of just in general. So you know, that, and Lilo's a cute little guy as well, you know. One big family, exactly. A weird family of cousins, you know, a weird family of like cousins with a bunch of various mascots floating around making trouble for each other. My mom's a tall, scary person, so you might not want her. Yeah, but I'm taller and scarier. It's nice to feel welcomed by others. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just like such a good thing. I think that like communities can get so insular sometimes, but I think that the insistence between like, I think one thing that like I would say Ku and I have in common a lot of is like neither of us have never liked the idea of existing in like an echo chamber, and you know, the fact that like there is that openness to like discussion and just like different ideas means that it's just a lot easier to kind of slot into like communities that maybe think a little different about stuff as well. So it's a really nice sort of like live and let live type thing, you know. Sometimes a family is just a bunch of cousins and uncles that that you don't need to question their relation too hard. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it, says Zander as he leaves, you know. Don't think about it, says Uncle Zander as he leaves Father's bedroom and steals your Lunchable from the refrigerator. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, kiddo. Speen, yeah, damn straight, speen. All right, what do you guys say we kick open some Tiny Glade and get ready to do the thing, you know? We're gonna do the thing. So we're gonna discuss the jellies on the fan? No? Oh, yeah, that little guy over there. He's hanging around. Listen, there's a heat wave right now. I'm hot. The jelly is probably also warm, so I taped it to the fan upside down, you know? As a safety precaution. Yeah, safety precaution. And Pitiful Servant, thank you for the 5 gifted jellies, Pitiful Servant. Thank you. All the love to you, Pitiful, and thank you once again. And what the hell? Thank you very much. And of course, a mwah to you. And Melian, thank you for the Aka Chaka. My days. Thank you very, very much, darling. You said I was scary. No one can say I'm cute anymore. Thank you, Purple Man. But for real, thanks for being okay with this little jelly being in the club. You thought I was bluffing, but I'm just getting started. I'm returning all the kindness you've shown me. Is this like a revenge kindness movie? You know how you've got like the revenge flicks where it's like, you know, person does like John Wick things. This is like Jelly having kindness revenge flick. It's like, oh, the club has been nice to me. I will get the Incubus. Why is this? Well, thank you for the Akachaka, darling. My days. This little jelly's going John Wick in the corner. Oh, goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Make him cry? What? You're cheering for this. Oh, well, thank you, darling. Thank you so much. No, I'm just glad that you felt comfortable to stay in the club, you know? I take a lot of special pride in making sure this place is cozy and, you know, comfy for those who want to stay here. And, of course, like, the fact that you did find this place like safe enough and cozy enough to want to be somewhere that you wanted to stay long term, that's something I take a lot of pride in. And honestly, like, it means a lot. It genuinely means a lot. We worked the blueprints to this place from very early on, and I couldn't be prouder of how it is. I always reiterate that so often. But yeah, no, we do our thing. We stay grounded. We keep working hard. We keep doing our thing. You have pet my dog. I will return this kindness tenfold. Goodness, the whooshes. A cozy, safe place. Yeah. You know, it's that thing where, you know, sometimes I can be a little strict. Sometimes I can be a little protective of all of this. But I think that, you know, being able to have this place be as comfy and be as homely as it is the benefit of that. It's hard work, but it's always worth it. And getting to know that you guys are like cozy as heck here, you know, it's that. I wish this could have been I wish this was how it was from like the get-go, but it took time to get here, and it's good, you know. Gotta be in and out. All good. Best of luck with the gaming. Alright, jellies, let's punch open a little bit of Tiny Glade, shall we? And if you're seeing this game for the first time, it's one of my favorites. I'm low-key obsessed with it. So, let's go. Yeah. Yeet. Boop. To the full screen gaming screen we go. Da-da-da-da. Do. Welcome to the void. It's pretty cool over here. Right? Ain't this a vibe? Right? Look at this. Tiny Glade appear. Tiny Glade appear. Tiny Glade appear. Tiny Glade appear? Tiny Glade? Hello? There we go. Took it a second. There we go. What's up? Welcome to Tiny Glade, everyone. Welcome to this cozy little place. Now, for those of you who don't know, Tiny Glade has got some pretty massive updates since the last time we played. And we got a bunch of new structures to design as well. So, I figured, since it's summer, let's pick a nice little summer place and start building a cute little village, shall we? For those of you who don't know, Tiny Glade is literally this beautiful little village simulator where you literally just get to make cool stuff. So, hope you're ready. And of course, hi VOD gang. Hi VOD gang. Good to see ya. Now that's the place I want to be right now, right? It's so pretty. Also, for those of you who want to see the cool stuff, right? I feel like I'm getting to show off my favorite thing for the first time. You get to like click and drag and just make stuff out of things. And the cool part is the world adapts. As you can see, like the bushes get added. The world adapts to like how you grab things and how you move stuff. So you move the stairs here, the railings change. You pull this bit out. You know, you grab this over to here. It kind of just all switches around. It kind of just accommodates the architecture. Put that there. It does its thing. Stick it on the corner. It does its thing. You want to have this here? It creates a ladder instead. It's so clever, right? Let's sit this a little bit further here so it's not quite stairs. I like that. There we go. That's nice. I like the idea of having like a hybrid kind of ladder here for this house. I played the demo for this years ago. Excited to see how the development went. Oh, I love the devs. I love the devs. I always try and kick up some love to the devs whenever I can. They have been so adamant with supporting this game. I've been playing it for about 2 years straight now, and I still love it. All right. What we'll do is we'll do the terrain shaping. Now, the question is, do we have a design or anything particular in mind? I'm thinking that I want to go with something like kind of like a... You know those like old-timey monasteries? I want to see if we could maybe pull out something like that. You get what I mean? Like with the kind of gentle slopes, the kind of old... If you get like the old British monasteries from like way back when. Maybe we'll add a little bit more sauce to this as well. A little bit of this. We'll kind of draw this out over here, if you can see. And gently work its way. Right? Ooh. Yeah, I'm thinking of like... This is an awful example. But I'm thinking of... Do you know the monastery in... Oh, what was that game you played? Song of Horror. There was this old British monastery, kind of like an abbey. That ended up being really cool. I really loved the design of it. And I'm thinking that there might be a way for us to kind of translate that here with a little bit of deforestation. Grab our little brush. Oh, and by the way, hee. Look. Zanny loves his calm games. Yeah, I like the calm games. I like story-driven ones. I also weirdly, I found a new appreciation for like, if I say dumb games, would you get what I meant? Like silly games, like the one that we played the other day with the cat, the raccoon. Sorry, the funny raccoon game. I'm weirdly getting a newfound appreciation for the. Oh. Oh. Oh no, that's cute. Oh, goodness gracious. I should probably do the standard VTuber plug of like, if it's your first time here, be sure to drop a like and maybe subscribe if that's your bag, or don't. Either way, it's a pleasure to have you around. Mwah. Ooh. I like that. Oh. Okay. What we'll do is we'll kind of polish this now with... We'll make this feel kind of like a landslide has hit here at some point in history. I like the idea of telling a story of a location through kind of gently adding small little touches to it. There. Oh, I like that. That feels like a natural, like, rise upwards as well. Is that one sheep flying? Oh, yeah, I should probably show you. So, this is like a cool little add-on. In case you haven't seen. You can see our little sheepy. If we lower the terrain, he gets a little umbrella and he floats down on it. I was hoping you'd do the thing where you got the rubber ring. I'm so sorry, little sheepy. Let's get you out of the ravine. There you go. Aw. Cute, right? Cute. So the rough bounds of the map are this. So, I'm thinking what we'll do is we want to use kind of more traditional housing pieces. So, let's go with some... Let's say... Yeah, let's go with some classic style buildings, some more gothic style buildings. I want to say we'll start off with kind of like a main hall over here. We'll start off with that, and then we'll change the color of the stone to make it a little bit more like wooden framed, I want to say. Let's say wooden framed with black brick, and the roof being a gentle off-white. Like that. Our cute wingless kin must be saved. Maybe a little bit taller as well. That could work. Like, somewhere up this way? Ooh, what if we started on... Because a lot of these old monasteries started life as kind of, like kind of medieval fortresses, didn't they? So... what if we start off with a little bit of wall here? We drag that to the edge. See where I'm going with this? Pull that upwards a touch. Not all the way upwards. We want to make sure that this still has like a bit of space behind it. And then add a couple of cuts to it. Like this. And we want to make it feel a little broken down. And I think there's a stylistic pattern that we're able to choose to make it feel a little more broken down too. Yeah. And what we can also do is, I believe, if we get a second wall and run it parallel to the interior... oh, not quite. Oh, that works really nicely. Because we've run the wall parallel, it kind of looks like a thicker wall that's had parts break from it. I like that. That feels very, very classic. That feels really, really historical. Yeah, I like that. Have you managed to talk anyone into using TinyGlade to build a TTRPG village? No, but I will one day. One day, someone will take this, zoom all the way out, and realize this is perfect for town maps in TTRPGs. One day, someone will. I believe. Alright, what we'll do is we'll start off with kind of encircling the place. And see where we go. Put that there. And then we'll continue running it from the opposite side as well. I think the polished... I don't want to get rid of the trees, because I really do like the idea that over time the trees have kind of overgrown the old monastery. And it's turned into kind of a, not quite a historical site, but something akin to it, you know? Like it's a bit of a living relic. The walls have kind of been rebuilt enough times that it feels messy with how it's been. I just want a 20-minute route. Oh! The ivy! Did you guys see? It's so... It saw what I was doing with the eye. Okay, this is why I love this game. It saw what I was doing with the wall and, like, making it look aged. So the ivy grew up. The outside's, like, covered in ivy now. Like that. See? See? Oh, that's nice. That's nice. The additions of that is so cute. So cute. Have I sold you on how cool this game and how cute this game is yet? Have I sold you on how amazing this game is yet? I have, right? We can also just run this to here. And I think I want to go with like a more weathered look with this. I think that'll do. Wish listing right now. It goes on sale regularly for like $2. It's incredible. Hi again. Thank you. Does this game have a workshop or a way to share your creations? It does. It does. It has a photo mode as well. So it has a really in-depth photo mode. So you can use the photo mode to kind of go around, but it doesn't just have the photo mode as well. You can also use, here we go. You can go first person if you should so desire and walk around the place that you've built. Yeah. Well, hey, Bubs. Well, hi there. Getting it the second I get a real computer. Oh, heck yes. Right? This is so cute. It's so neat. I'm clapping my hands like a moron. See? It's amazing. You can even set the time of day on the fly as well. So if you like working during the daytime, that's fine. Or if you want to see what this place looks like early evening at night. Or maybe you just want a nice shot of like the moon so you can change the entire world's orientation for a second. So you can make sure that the moon is in just the right spot for a really decent little... Here we go. For a really decent little transition. So you can just put this somewhere like maybe here. And then you can just lock the passage of time so it stays where it is. And then before you know it, you've got a lovely shot of the moon. You can even, if you're feeling especially cheeky, move something to its like apex. So it's over here, or we could look at this hole in the wall. Not too bad, right? Right? Zander says, nodding like an idiot. Yeah? Yeah? The game scratches the brain just right. It does. Cozy, cozy, cozy. Cozy, cozy, cozy. Bird on the sheep? Yeah, so the birds will take a little seat on the sheep and get carried around by them. Alright, I'm thinking for this building as well, there are different varieties of windows we can have. I'm thinking like the old Gothic windows on there would be like really cute. So maybe we take like a stained glass window in the center here. Right. And then add 1, 2 here. And then right in the center, we want to build a door. So let's make it a nice sort of big, welcoming door. Here. And what we'll do is we'll clean away some of the shrubbery. Okay, we'll add a little bit of... We'll add a little path as well. So pathing is kind of cool as well. So you can add like walked dirt paths here as well. And it kind of acts like a spray paint can. So it looks like it's kind of traveled and had a bit of light footwork. And you can even pick up these little items here that will spawn whenever you you drop any items. And you can just place them around. So you can have the little sign here. You can make it a sunflower. You could do anything with it. Which is really cute. It also just creates such a nice little like photography sim of a game. Like if we were to nudge this. Unlock the moon. Grab this and slide this to here. We can even use the mouse as like a manual focus as well. I'm sold. Wishlisting the game. The game feels like endless head scratches, right? I will make a TTRPG map using this game, I swear. I've used it once before for a TTRPG map as well. So, I had to cancel my Demon the Descent campaign because unfortunately we didn't have like the right player count and some of the players got busy. So, I'm definitely doing that thing. And it's definitely something I would do. If I play a medieval thing again, I would be so down. Now I want to make this game little villages or something for the D&D party to stumble across. It's so beautiful. Right. I figured, like, the way you can change the camera and actually zoom out, right? You could really easily stick, like, this on a map overlay. You could literally put, like, a map grid on there that you can get from, like, Roll20. And it's literally on, like, the free version of Roll20. Stick a map grid over and use it as a town map. And then you can even, like, turn the camera somewhat and take, like, a couple of perspective shots in order to, like, introduce tone as well. Which, it just seems smart to me. It just seems genius. Hey, and 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻, how are you doing, darling? Good to see you. How you doing? Hi from Wales and the seaside. Alessio is meeting my family for the first time this week. I'm taking him down to the beach a load of times to help. Aww. Well, I hope you two are doing well. I hope you guys don't end up too nervous. It should be a good little experience, but either way, enjoy your time by the seaside and enjoy your time together, all right? All the love from me to you, okay? Make the most out of it. Plus, like, it's Wales. Like, it's the seaside, it's Wales, it's rarely this warm. Make the most out of the time on the beach. Okay, I'm thinking we add this to the side. Raise it up. And then slide it backwards. Oh, that's a nice angle. Ooh. I love the fact that we can change the shape of the roofs as well, as and when we need. So we could even pull that down there. We'll get a little liberal with some of this. We'll pull that down there. Take this. Give it a granary floor. Give it some higher walls. And it gives us a little basket of fruit to place. Nice. Pat pat? Hey, pat pat. Oh yeah, I'm trying this out for my next one shot. Based taste. Based taste. Fantastic taste. You know what? Actually, let's get rid of these windows. See, I think this would actually be really helpful as well, for the sake of just being useful for campaigns where, like, maybe the resources you're able to use are a little restricted as well. Because I know one issue that we've had whenever we've done FSP campaigns is that obviously there's a difference between having, you know, the rights to a map sheet or something like that when you buy it off of, like, you know, Roll20 or wherever you get it from, and, like, having the perms to stream it, because I know that perms have been an issue so many times before when we've done that. And I think that just being able to be like, oh yeah, I cooked this myself in 𝓂𝓾𝓾 is such a better option than having to hang around and hope for the best but expect the worst when it comes to, like, oh, can I use this map? Can I use this map? Can I use this resource? You know, I think that's just, like, such a better option. Could be a good tool for artist links as well. True. True, 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 true. Nice. But this be useful for world building and writing your own campaigns? Oh, yeah. Oopsie. I love the fact that the undo button is so easy as well. Like, it doesn't feel like making a mistake causes you to get actually set back. You can even make, like, you can even freestyle a little bit more in terms of building forms, so... Wah, sheepy! You okay? Where'd you go? Sheepy? Oh, there you are. Sheepy, move. Sorry, sheepy. Sorry, little sheepy. I just need you to stand clear for a second. So you can even go a little bit more freeform, maybe. Style it out a little bit. Grab one of these. Move it outwards like that. Maybe pull it back in a touch. Put this here. You know, I'm writing up a new TTRPG. Incubus mechanics are not at all connected to D&D based. Any suggestions on where I should put it so people can start to see it? Ooh, I would say first step is to play test it. And I would say a good start is always your local game store. A lot of local game stores are willing to try alternatives that aren't D&D. If you're able to source a group and then like go from there, that's a good start. Drive-through TTRPG is a good hosting site when it comes to where you want to put like kind of maybe products that are a little bit more off the wall or their own system. Also, like, again, just sort of the LFG forums as well. A good way to do it is just to get some players, start distributing the PDF if you can, and see who bites, honestly. I know that it's always really difficult to get that initial interest going, but genuinely, if it's good, and like you find a way for people to vibe with it, then it's always a treat. It's gone through 15 years of playtesting, worked on it a lot during my usual way. Oh, then wonderful. Drive-through TTRPG is probably going to be your best starting point. And personally, I love drive-through TTRPG. All my players switch systems and run it with their group. Listen, if you're getting people away from D&D, you have my full support. I didn't say that, but if you've got a lifeboat on that sinking ship, then good for you putting people on there. Put that down so we can get a flight of stairs. Thank you, much appreciated. It's very sincere to appropriate channels. You don't need to advertise it. Oh, hell yeah. If you've got a Twitter, feel free to like use my hashtag Zander Netherbrand and I will happily take a look at it. And if you're in the unofficial Discord server, then I can totally make sure that like I can make sure that one of my one of the mods like slides it along to me as well. I can definitely make sure that like something along there, you know, goes somewhere thereabouts. Honestly, if I vibe with it, I'd love to share it with my group as well. They're always looking for D&D alternatives. Can I crawl into your front pocket? Of course, of course, of course. Of course. Always welcome. What can I say? I've become an embittered old man towards D&D. Oh, goodness. I feel like all of you have heard my paid DMing horror stories, right? Like, all of you have heard my my paid DMing horror stories of, like, so it's difficult. See, I've been playing with my current D&D group for the past few years, and I keep getting a pss, pss, when are you going to finish writing your campaign? Pss, pss. So, here's the thing. You don't need to finish writing it to just start playing it. We'll do that. Again, if you do see it, don't forget to advertise it if you chance enough. However, if you supposed memory, it'll be an honor. Oh, hell yeah. I'd love to check it out, honestly. TTRPG systems are a quick way to my heart. Hell, I've been writing my own for quite a while. And it's like a concept that I've kept very close to my heart for a long while. It's a mech game. It's mechs. If you like some sci-fi with like a little bit of mechs and magic, then like that's the one that I've been brewing up. I'm actually, you know what? Now I've said it, I would love to take time out just to finish it. To be honest, to just sit down, grind out the finality of the system, and actually be able to like platform it. You know, I think it's about time that I finished that system that I've been working on, because it's been one that's been sat close to my heart for years now, and I did so much stuff with it. I just need to get that dice system all sorted. Mechs, I'm so sad. Yeah. So, the rough idea of it is the name of the name of the system was Soul in the Machine, and the idea is that it's set in the far-flung future, where essentially humanity expanded to the stars, and what happened was... Sorry, I was tiny gliding for a second. What happened was humanity broke into like a very distinct kind of flourishing empire with huge amounts of technology and, you know, these huge mechs that ended up becoming kind of the equivalent of like knights at the time. However, this event called the Scream happened, and it actually caused all of the AIs and VIs within the mechs to gain full sentience. And it ended up causing this huge kind of, this huge chaotic breakdown. And obviously, you know, everything became a massive uprising. The whole galaxy was essentially, like, shredded with these giant pockets of antimatter happening because the space within, like, fundamental reality itself ended up shifting and breaking in some places. And it ended up with vast, distant pockets of humanity kind of trapped far apart from each other between the stars. And now it's set, you know, several hundred years after that fall. And the idea is that the players all play individuals who have inherited their family's mechs or come across a mech in some form. But the idea is that the way you build your character sheet is you actually build two. You build one for you, which is your character, and then you build one for your mech. But the mech actually gets certain keywords. So instead of taking traits for your mech, you take personality traits, and those personality traits are actually how the mech interacts with you itself. And it has its own AI, it has its own, you know, understanding. And dependent on the relationship you build with your mech through roleplay and also the different trait tags that it's given, it gets different skills. You know, mechs that are abrasive or that are aggressive deal extra damage in combat, but are more vulnerable as well to taking damage. On the flip side as well, one that's more pacifistic, or more of a pacifist, will take less damage in combat, or will take, will deal less damage in combat, but will also help you better when it comes to like computing stuff. But the idea is the play is split between gameplay on the ground, where your pilot is outside of their mech, going about their business and doing things, and there can even be little combats and firefights and stuff like that. So the social aspect is often done on the ground, but the idea is that essentially, because the mechs start off kind of weak and you upgrade them as time goes on. I did design an entire split-piece armor system based around damage reduction towards core components and then malfunctions that can happen depending on damage. The idea is that any combat that you're doing, whether you're kind of, if you're on the ground and it's just like you and your pilots and, you know, your team of pilots, and you get into a little firefight maybe with a handful of enemies, there's always the possibility that you could cool your mech down and like change the entire complexion of the fight, because suddenly, oh, I've got a giant mech here, you know, I've got a giant 20-foot mech. Hope you're ready to get messed up. But if you do that, then there's something saying that, oh, maybe one of the other guys on the other team also has a mech. And then it can cause a massive escalation. You know how Titanfall was, where you can just call down like the mech and then suddenly the entire dynamic changes? It's the idea that escalation can happen very, very easily if someone's on the back foot, and it can get really out of hand really quick with like a lot of extra layers of destruction being there. And the idea is that like as unregistered and sort of like unapproved mech users, you want to try and avoid attention, because the remnants of the early empire are still attempting to track down and purge the pilots of mechs for kind of unknown reasons, or unapproved pilots of mechs for unknown reasons, and to take the VIs out of the mechs for some unknown thing. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing, where you have one set of skills as a pilot and one set of skills as a mech. And yeah, you kind of jump between the two depending. And there might be sessions where you don't touch your mech at all, and your mech just exists remotely as a little VI in your earpiece or in your helmet, feeding you little bits of advice or helping you with rolls. Or there might be sessions where you're entirely in a mech being suited and booted and getting ready to sort of like do orbital drops into combat. So it's really interesting. So yeah, I've been wanting to finish that for years. Oh, and I'm using a D12 dice pool system because I refuse to be a normie. I'm using a D12 dice pool system because D12 is the perfect dice. The D12 is the perfect dice. It's perfect. It's the perfect dice. 12 sides. Your 1 is a critical failure, your 12 is a critical success, and then you take all the numbers 2 through 11 as 1 to 10. And that can be different variations of a skill check, which means you don't have to rely on the truncated numbers. I also use a D12 base for my system. Based. It's the perfect dice. It is the perfect dice. The D12 is the perfect dice. Teehee. Oh, and Emily, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Emily. Thank you very, very much. Just joined to Netherbrand. Love a little nerd. Nerdbrand. Teehee. Nerdbrand will only ever grow more powerful. He is the oncoming storm. Some say it's the Netherlings. No, no, no. The Incubus is the oncoming storm of nerddom. You won me over with that explanation. It makes so much sense. Right, you have the 1 for the failure, the 12 for a critical success, and then you literally number 2 through 11 as 1 to 10. And what that does is it gives you a range of success and failure. It gives the DM an actual out of 10 that they can actually set for there, and it makes sense. My sister's roll of 1d12 for the statistical skills and added a full value to a d12. See, that makes it just makes sense. It makes sense. A d20 makes less sense because of the fact that every number has a 5% chance of occurring, right? With a 1 being a critical failure, with a 20 being a critical success, it doesn't make as much sense. I mean, the only thing that I think could be equal to a d12 in concept would be a d100. But, like, ain't nobody got time for that. What are you doing, playing Warhammer Rogue Trader? Are you playing a Games Workshop game with those D100s you got there? I would bully me for using a D100. Your brain is so big. I love Nerdbrand so much. Listen, I'm just a poorly socialized little guy that enjoys dice and numbers more than humans. I'm a poorly socialized little sex demon that enjoys dice and numbers more than humans, you know? I'm like the physical amount. I'm like the physical like amalgamation of that meme of like, you know, the little like the little like Instagram post where it's like, or like the little TikTok post where it's like, he just finished inside me and now he's showing me his custom TTRPG that he wrote. It's like that. I'm like, what's that? You want cuddles? Well, let me explain how psychic powers work in this game first, though, okay? We can cuddle, but you have to listen while I explain psychic powers to you. I do have a diagram for this, by the way. No, don't have your head there. If you're nuzzling into me, you can't see the diagram. I need you to, like, have your back face. No, yeah, better. Okay, there you go. 1D Chronicle creates high failure rates. Exactly 5% chance of any value. D has an 8% chance of any value, inherently giving more statistical advantage to the roller. This is why we get along. This is why we get along. This is why. Same mindset. I love the fact that the reasoning is always the same. It is the same reasoning through every nerd. It is the same reasoning. It sounds like a bonus, honestly. Like, what do you mean? That's a bonus. Unfortunately, he's cute, so we like him anyway. Right. But yeah, no, the high failure rate from like D20s is kind of unacceptable to a certain degree because of the fact that you have to front load your skills. But the problem is that then if you front load your skills, it's more likely that you'll create overpowered characters. But then you have to adapt the rest of the system to be able to overcome the fact that the characters are going to be really OP. You know, I think that's I think power creep is one of the big issues Dungeons & Dragons has had over the years as well. Where if you look at what's in the newer editions and newer expansions, it's almost incomparable to what was there very early on, you know? It's a big one. And Layla Crescent, thank you for the super. Unfortunately, he's cute, so we like him anyway. Listen. I'm just doing my thing. Oh, actually, let's grab this. Don't worry, I'm cooking. Now, what if, Ibanez, your next MOOCs design a TTRPG concept the Netherlands can play your game, and we can have Membies RPG nights where you play with jellies. I love the idea. I would love to get a TTRPG published at some point. But I'm gonna be so real, and I'm probably gonna say the most, like, selfish thing I think I've ever said on this channel. If I ever wrote a TTRPG, I couldn't release it as Zander Netherbrand because I don't want FSP having a claim on it. Like, to be legit, I don't want them having a claim on any of my fucking work that isn't VTuber stuff. Because, like, they get a claim on anything I do as Zander that's, like, published through here. So, like, I'm not letting something that I love, like, that much and, like, that's something that I put in there be a corpo thing, right? Like... I ain't giving them that. So fair. Chat lights up with fair. Gotta protect the IP. Exactly. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I It's one of the reasons why I ask not to get paid for voice acting work as Zander. Or when I do stuff outside. Because if I ever use the Zander name, then, like, I don't want it to go, like, that way. I'd rather take, like, a freebie and just count it as, like, spreading the name, rather than have, like, FSP, like, have like, a hand in it and, like, be overseeing things and, like, negotiating stuff. You know what I mean? Because, like, I feel like if legal department, like, got their hands in and started negotiating stuff, I feel like there's a lot of room for things to go sour. If I'm not handling it myself personally. Because once I stop handling... If I get that involved, I have to stop handling it personally and I have to hand it over to, like, a department where, like, they don't know me. Based? Kind of based. Can I send the system to you somewhere other than the Discord? Oh, let me see. If you go to... Okay, I'm still going to send you in that direction, but just give one of the mods a tap. And what they'll do is they'll just pass it on and make sure that, like, that like no copy like leaves that. So it'll just be like a singular link. They have a way to get it to me like directly through like the little Netherling tunnels, but they do have a way. And if you just give one of the mods a tap and just hand it directly to them, they will then hand it directly to me. They won't like share it anywhere else. You can probably just like DM it over to them and then they'll share it over to me. I have a little tunnel for like for stuff specifically like this where like thank you. All good. Always happy to get my grubby little claws on a new TTRPG. But yeah, no, I think that's a thing. Wait, I'm so happy I opened YouTube because now I have Zanny as my bedtime story. I probably won't sleep because I haven't seen you in a bit and I missed you. Aww. Thank you, darling. Okay, that looks so good though. This looks so cute. There we go. The Netherling tunnels sound weirdly ominous. Listen, I have my ways. I have my ways. As much as I do love and enjoy FFP, and I do. Like, don't get me wrong. For the little things where I say, like, oh, I'd rather keep the IP on this, or I'd rather keep my ideas for that, that's just me being very open and honest, you know? I do genuinely enjoy being here. I do genuinely, like, you know, I do love this company. Hell, I was Gen 1. I've stayed here through the good and the bad. It's just that thing where, like, also to a certain degree, I have to think about, like, how much do I want me to go into me, and how much do I want to, like, you know, put it in other places, you know? It's kind of that thing where, like, irregardless, I'm always going to be here. I was one of the people that helped get this company off the ground all the way at the beginning. And, like, it's definitely one of those things where, like, you know, I don't think any other of, like, the major VTubing companies out there would be willing to let me handle things the way I handle them, like FSP does. They are so very, like... I think the thing I will always give FSP credit for and compliments for is, like, one of the things that I think they don't get enough respect for. I know, I'm sounding like a corpo shill, forgive me. Is they are always willing to admit what they don't know. You know, it might take a little bit, but sooner or later, they will always admit what they don't know. And if they don't know something, they will be like, we don't know this, we're gonna, like, butt out. And I think that that's a really good way of doing it. Because there are times where I'm like, listen, you know, you don't know how to handle this one? Let me handle it, you know? And I gotta admit, there have been, like, times where it's, like, where I've had to be like, okay, listen, do you guys know this? And they're like, not quite. And like, okay, just hand it to me. I'll take care of it, you know? Whether it's, like, running certain stuff in the club, whether it's, like, more difficult situations with, like, merchandise and stuff like that. It's definitely a thing, right? I'm not afraid to, like, get a little bit, like, my hands dirty with things. You know? Then again, I don't usually, like, publicly extol my love so much when it's, like, here. Mainly because of the fact that, you know, I handle things my own way. But, I don't publicly extol too much about, like, the fact that FSP's, like, come a long way. But also, you know, how do I put this? It's also because of the fact that I tend to do a lot of my stuff behind the scenes. I'm usually the one, like, getting his hands dirty behind the scenes. Or, like, having the sort of, like, tenser, more, like, grubby conversation. You know? When it comes to, like, someone who's willing to get their hands dirty for certain things, it's definitely, this is definitely, like, that's more my thing, you know? I'm one of those people where, like, as much as I don't extol how happy I am at times here, it's usually because I'm better at handling that the kind of more behind the scenes business, like I do. It's what makes me scary to the new boys. Hey, and Hawthorne, thank you very much for the nether heart. Thank you very much. And Tiny Lord Helix as well. Tiny Lord Helix, how goes? Thank you for the gifted jelly. I actually got gifted a membership twice now while I was asleep, so I'm paying it forward since I got paid. Oh, that's so nice of you. Well, hell, I hope you enjoy what's going on now. You know, I hope you're enjoying chilling out, having a little bit of fun here, and you're doing your thing. Stand on business. Yeah, the Dark Overlords know that I'm not conflict averse. It's them being like, yeah, we know you're not yeah, we you know, if there's ever a time that we need someone not conflict averse, we know where you are. And I'm like, I got you. I got you. It's one way to put it. Have to run errands now. Enjoy the game. Hey, I will be sure. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'll be sure to keep an eye out for it. Do your thing. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Nice. Oh, I like that. Oh, we could even trail that a little further back. Although that might be a little too boxy. We could make it asymmetrical by filling this in. That might actually work. Because then we can drag that over there. Drag that there. Didn't D&D just announce it was getting a crossover with something as well? I swear they just announced it. Star Wars, that was it. D&D's getting a Star Wars crossover. Which is kind of crazy. Because, like... it's like watching two things I used to love slowly, like, writhe against each other. Finally caught you when you're not ending stream. Well... oh, goodness. Get in here. Enjoy. How about we build a little herb garden? Doesn't Star Wars have its own system? You'll have to excuse me. I'm playing one-player buckshot roulette right now with that. With that. So yes. Yes. Yes, they do. And it was a very good system. It was a D20 based system. And unfortunately, it fell out of fashion. However, the system was very, very good. And I even had the privilege of playing it for a very short period of time. However, it was just a system that didn't really, like, catch on. Because, again, it was one of those things where the popularity of D&D kind of subsumed the Star Wars system. And also, it was kind of another one, was that, unfortunately, it was it was a D20 system, so the commonality with D&D ended up kind of snuffing it. But they managed to agree to a little deal to make some, like, a crossover. However, the funny thing that, or at least the haha teehee joke of this, is remembering that 3 years ago, Wizards of the Coast tried to take ownership of several Star Wars IPs through an aggressive takeover, claiming that they used a D20 system, and therefore they had legal right to freely use Star Wars IPs. So... sips coffee. Mm-hmm. It's a funny story. That was like 3 years ago. That less than 3 years ago that was, and now everyone's holding hands and singing "Kumbaya." All my homies hate Wizards of the Coast. Listen, I've said this before on stream. If Wizards of the Coast want me to stop bullying them, they can sponsor me. It's not extortion. It's not extortion. They'd just be buying my loyalty until the sponsorship ran out. Wizards of the Coast. Yeah, right. No, I can't stand Wizards of the Coast, he says with a fistful of Magic the Gathering cards. Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, look. Well, yeah, can't. Yeah, bruh. I am the consumer cuck. I swear to God. I am hippocuck. Me with my fucking deck. Me with my card sleeves. Me with my red, white, black deck. Me being the face of consumerism with that. Listen, I'll spit on. I'll be mean about D&D. I can't. Money spread, but it's Magic the Gathering cards. Well, let me show you this sleeved up temporal manipulation I got here. That's right. Sleeved. But actually, wait, no, that's not my flex card. Wait. Let me get my flex card. Let me get my flex card. Where's the card that I flex to? Here we go. Oh. All right. You can't see this, but you can hear it. That's right. That's my texture. There we go. That's my foil textured Spectacular Spider-Man full art. That's right. My foil textured full art Spectacular Spider-Man. Hell yeah. That's my flex. That's my one card that I can flex. Let me flex my card. Crushes it in his bicep. Eats it. I feel like I was scammed, though. Because, not gonna lie, that was like my third packet of physical Magic the Gathering cards that I bought. Maybe my fourth. And I got a foiled textured in there. And ever since then, I have not picked up another textured card. And it has killed me. Although they did try and sell me Pokemons while I was in there last time. They did try and ask me if I wanted to buy Pokemons. And I was like, I don't Pokemon. I like Gengar. But the Pokemon cards aren't quite for me. The Pokemons aren't there, you know. Although I will say, huge love to the Netherling that sent me the pack of the massive booster box of like Pokemons, of the Pokemons, right? Huge love to the Netherling that sent me that. I haven't opened any. I've had the box sat to. They sent it to me in 2025, maybe 2024, and like I've had it sat to one side ever since. Because it's like a sun and moon booster box, like a whole sun and moon box. And I've had it sat to one side for about 2 years. And like, I haven't wanted to open it because I showed Cass the box, right? And I was like, what do I do with these? And he was like, oh, that's a good box. You should keep it. And I'm like, I should keep it? Because I know nothing about like the Pokemon cards. I'm like, he's like, you should keep it. And I'm like, I should keep it. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so I don't open them? He's like, you can open them if you feel like gambling. And I'm like, do I feel like gambling or do I feel like just holding on to it? And not even gonna lie, my inability to make a decision has literally been lasting like 2 years. My inability to make a decision of what to do with those cards has lasted 2 years. I have been sat there for 2 years being like, do I want this? Do I open them or do I don't know. It's so real, right? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Real though. This is why you're my Oshi. Ooh, snitching jelly. Thank you for the jelly labs. Let me check out what you're saying over in Jelly Labs. Let me have a little sneaky peek over at Jelly Labs, shall we? What's occurring over in Jelly Lab land? Alright, Jellies, what's happening over here? What's happening over here? Oh, snitching jelly. Ooh. I am here to snitch again. A certain Melian does not believe she is a cutie and said you're the only one who could convince her. She's also weak to calling you Melly or Mels. Do what you want with that, my liege. You could win a battle with that. Mels is a hecking cutie. Goodness gracious me. What the hell, right? Bruh. Other jellies are trying to take down your campaign before it begins. I'm just saying, like, other jellies are out there. They're preying on your downfall. Let's make a little veranda. Ooh. That could be really cute. Oh, maybe that's a little too high, I think. The brutal attack. Never trusted jelly to keep a secret. What do you mean? Half your time you're snitching on each other. It's one of Jelly's favorite occupations. Jellies are the reason for the stop snitching movement. Jelly saw the stop snitching movement and went bet. There we go. Let's add a small fence around the edge, right? We're going to get a little creative with this now. What did I do? Oh, I like that. We could even bring it out to here. And back to there. What if we stretch it a little bit? Ooh, that looks nice. That leg's going to get in the way a touch, though, of the herb garden. I think maybe bringing it back in. I think we're going a little over the top with that. It looks very, very, like, over the top otherwise. I think just having a small balcony there works wonders. Bruh. Also, I'm having to, like, speaking of nerd stuff, I'm having to eat my words over turning around and actually, like, hyping up Trench Crusade when I spoke about it the other day. Bruh, as soon as I speak about something, I swear I discover cursed information about it. So, I was talking about Trench Crusade the other day, and how much I liked the concept of it, and, like, that I was really interested in getting into it as like, a Warhammer, you know, it's like an extra wargaming thing. And as soon as I say that, like, a couple days later, like, I end up coming across the information that, like, the models they're selling are actually really cheap and filled with toxic chemicals that, like, cause the models to burst open and spill, like, toxic filament wherever they are, because they build up with gas. So because they're 3D printed, So because the models are 3D printed, right? If the 3D rendering for like the machine is not a little terror, thank you for the jelly labs, let's go. So if the 3D rendering is not correctly like done on the 3D printer, the UV light isn't gonna actually penetrate properly. So there are these things called cavities, right? Kind of like the teeth. And what happens is if the model's designed wrong, so with like certain bits that are going to be covered by other bits when the UV light actually causes the actual filament to solidify, what happens is the filament stays a liquid and gets trapped within the cavities that's then created, right? So what they've been doing is they've been printing them, but despite people reaching out and saying that the designs are allowing for cavities, they haven't listened. So what's happening now is that because the filament itself has like, you know, it's a chemical. The filament's a chemical, you know, and it's in a liquid state until UV light is hitting it, and then it becomes a solid, right? So because the filament is being left for like, because there's still liquid filament inside when the print is finished, right? Because the cavity hasn't actually allowed for the UV light to penetrate. Because the cavity's being left and the liquid's still there, it's allowing gas to build up from the inside of the models. And what's happening is when the gas from the inside builds up, it's fine for a week or a month or 2 months or 3 months or 4 months. But eventually, either it eats a hole through the model and actually pops out of like a shoulder or something like that, or if it's a deeper cavity where there's no direct way out, the pressure builds up until the model suddenly cracks open and bursts, and it spills toxic filament. It spills toxic filament out of it. And apparently something like 45% of their range of models have been affected by this, and the creators keep blanking it and being like, no, nothing's happened. No, nothing's happened. They're not like explosives, but it's just causing it to go and just crack open and then just, you know, and like you're paying like $50 for one of these models, right? And then suddenly it cracks open and it's like, oh, well, there goes everything. And the filament spills everywhere because it's still in a liquid state. Chimney would be good. So yeah, gotta be more careful about buying resin prints now. I can actually, I'll have to grab it for next stream, but I can actually suggest a website. So in response to some of this stuff, because this has happened over like the last 6 months, right? In response to some of this stuff, you know how there's like PSA grading for like cards and stuff like that? Now that they're getting sued, but anyway, you know how there's like PSA grading for, they can tell you like the quality of cards and everything. They're doing the same now. An independent, like a dude has set up a website to do the same, but he's created a catalog of models now. So you can actually go to his site, you can look at like the run number and like the year of this thing being offered and the thing of all that, right? And you can actually get like a comprehensive breakdown of the issues that it's had in the past and whether or not there's like stuff happening with it, or anything that's been reported about that specific model or that specific run, and get like reviews about the quality of the model itself. And it's an independent catalog that like a guy's created, and it's actually taken off and done really, really well in response. So like, that's kind of goated. $50, bruh, make your own. Well, that's the thing. Originally, Trent's Crusade promised its player base that it wanted to allow for the hobby to be accessible for everyone, right? Because accessibility has always been a big issue with wargaming, you know? Because a lot of people end up getting priced out of the marketplace for it, you know? I know I have, you know? But in response, a lot of Trench Crusade, the developers said that they were going to release 3D model files that you could buy So you could buy cheap, you could either buy the physical models made by them, or you could buy the 3D model files yourself for personal use and then print the models yourself at home for a cheaper price, right? As a way to like kind of make it so the game was more accessible for others, right? And they did that initially. And then after they did the first run and released that, they said that they weren't going to be doing it anymore, even though the guy who made it promised that it would be that way for life. So they tried, but then they backtracked, unfortunately. Oh no, part of me's always been very interested in 3D printing, but also I'm aware of the fact that, like, if you do it, it's a lot to learn, and I have a small inky brain. 3D printing run stuff is cool, but I wish people would be more careful while working with it. My cousins started regular 3D printing, but the printer is in the same room as Snake Tank, and I wanted to yell her ear off for that. Bruh. But yeah, no, that was something where I was like hyped about it the other day, and I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean the models crack open and spill toxic gas? What do you mean? What do you mean toxic gas? Small inky brain, that's a lie. You're the Incubus with the biggest brain. Fucking mean. Someone to say, no, let me keep pretending to be a small brain. Let me pretend to keep being small brain, okay? It makes life easier. If you pretend to be a small brain, people leave you alone. Don't take this from me. Don't take this from me. I said don't take this from me. Don't you clear me. Fair, can't say no to that. Oh, let's build a flower garden. There we go. The shade of a big tree will make this nicer. Damn it. I'm going to brain rot over the size difference between the towers. I need to make this one smaller. Better. That works. I kind of like them slightly crooked. Ooh, do you know what? Let's see if we can get the... Ooh, hello. Let's see if we can get the... moon. Here we go. To say... A. That's not too bad. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Nice. Strangely delightful. Pretty, pretty. Mm-hmm. Is so pretty. Right, let me check Jelly Labs for a second as well. Gotta check the Jelly Labs. Oh, Little Terra wanted to make the noise and maybe get some reassurance. Being a very blue jelly, and it's hard to deal with the swings. You're my idol. It's all good, darling. It's all good. I get it. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I go through the swings too. Trust. Either way, know that you got a place here, and you know you're always welcome. You've always got a place on my shoulder. Always. And of course, Emily as well. Hi, Zanzan. I'm here to request an Incubus for my shift tomorrow. I work at a horse riding lesson yard, and Saturdays are our busiest day. Unfortunately, my shift is on Saturday, and I'm a very socially anxious person, which isn't great when I'm busy. I get that. I get that. As someone who used to work with horses as well, I so get that. At the very least, it's kids. They're easily distracted. And also, if you don't move, they can't see you. Or is that T-Rexes? I think it's the same for both. Don't worry about it, okay? If you don't move, they can't see you. The kids lose focus on you too fast. If one of the kids tries to engage you in conversation, start referencing memes. Say something like that. You know, hit the 6-7 or start playing 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 on them. Have a video of 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 on your phone ready to go and just hold it in front of their face if they try and speak to you. They'll instantly be subdued. T-Rexes, kids, the same thing. You're pretty much. They're not that different. Thereabouts. No, but either way, you've done it before on less busy days. You'll manage it on the busy days. You always will. And the fact is that, like, I know you can do it. You know you can do it. And what's the harm? You got this. What if we put this here? Add another link to the chain, maybe? Here we go. There we go. Come on, turn. There we go. Ooh, and speaking of D&D, I've kind of fallen in love with Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so I get the slander now. It's bloated, but I like it more than what I'm used to. Leah, thank you for the super. And by the way, Dabs, you know who? Did you know who beta tested Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Do you know who was one of the beta testers? Do you know who was one of the early beta testers for Pathfinder 2nd? Do you know who did that? Do you know who's one of the beta testers? Do you know who beta tested that? Do you know who's one of the people that beta tested Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Do you know who? Do you know? If you do, then they must have been a really cool guy with who's really handsome and probably has like a very very charming voice and does cool stuff in his free time because he's really cool. You know, I bet he's a cool guy. You know, really cool. Bet he's like you know, he's cool, like very cool. bet he's really based, as the kids say. Sweet and amazing Incubus. How did you know? No, that's probably like the biggest thing I've beta tested, or I've been like able to beta test, outside of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. But again, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, you know, as a rule set, sends me to that place where I consider doing one-player buckshot roulette IRL. I meant to finish off the thing about them saying about V6. I love the fact that Vampire the Masquerade V6 is already being like universally like torn apart by the player base by how much they don't like it, which is kind of crazy. Oh, and Emily, did you say you worked with horses, or am I crazy? No. I said that. When I was younger, I used to be a stable boy. When I was, you know, back in the underworld, much younger, I was a stable boy. I worked with horses for years and years. Probably about 2 or 3 years. I used to help out around like a small stable, which was like a place where I want to say like upper middle class people would send their horses for when they couldn't like home them, like in their own homes or like, you know, on their own land. And it was somewhere that was like pretty nice. I actually really enjoyed it at the time. My job was literally just to go around, do the odd jobs that needed to be done, muck out the horses every once in a while. But the big part of my job was actually that, because a lot of the horses were ones that had like quite a lot of, you know, they needed to move around a lot. There was one particular that I loved. She needed to always get some like motion. She was always like, her name was Bertha. She always needed to be moving because like, she was a Shire horse. She was a Shire crossbreed, but essentially she was like really energetic, so they literally just needed someone who was able to like take her out every like day or so. And pretty much this was back when I was a teenager, but literally my job was literally just to take her out for like long rides, like to the forest and back again. And yeah, that was it. I'd do that and do the thing. It was just go there, take her out for a walk, go have lunch somewhere in the forest with her, come back after like an hour, go home. Didn't you have to, because you're a bad kid? Yeah, it was part of the reform school thing. They sent me to work there because of the fact that like, I got kicked out of school a couple of times. So they figured that like, having like real work like there would set me straight. It didn't, but you know, I appreciate the old college try. Instead, I just ended up really liking horses. Unfortunately, I was not scared straight, as they say. Instead, I was simply an enjoyer of animals. Of course a young Incubus would get riding lessons, of course. OMG, I'm such a horse nerd. I've loved horses since I was younger, and I worked at a yard as a stable girl before they hired me for paid work. Nice. See? It's good. How is that punishment? It's a dream job, literally. They're like, I bet you feel... It was the thing where I'd go back to, like, school as well the next day, and they'd be like, I bet you know, your hands are sore from working down on the Down with those horses, you know, bet you know what it is. And I'm like, yes. Yes, I trotted through the forest, hair billowing in the wind, and then stopped and had a late lunch beneath an apple tree. How is this supposed to make me a good kid again? How is this? You're so right. It's made me really reflect on my action. It's made me really reflect on how to be a better man. That sounds so nice, right? It was meant to be a punishment, but I just don't think they understood how punishments worked properly. Like, that's all I could say. Maybe they just didn't get how punishments worked. They weren't punishing them, right? They were like, oh. Hope you've reflected. And I'm like, yes. I've reflected deeply. There we go. Looking good, right? Let's throw in a little bit of lighting as well. I think some lighting will look good here. Maybe just on here? Where was that? There is one specific angle. I need that. There we go. I like that. Do you think we can get any inside? No, we could put something on the wall. Yeah, that works. I have no idea what that's meant to be. Oh, nice. Okay, that works. You know what? I think we should just get rid of that building. Better. Much better. That's just pretty now. And second to none, thank you for the super. Sneaky mwah to all the cuties in the club. Gets dragged back to work. No. Oh, darling. No. Get out of there. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Don't worry. VOD Gang's going to be here, and I got some cozy story of seasons for all of you tomorrow. So either way, you're going to be getting wrapped up in a nice little bundle of joy. Just hang on in there. What I will do, though, is in a minute, I'm just going to take a quick water and bathroom break before we continue on building some comfy, cozy, chaotic, tiny places. Here we go. I'm thinking we can, like, build some old stairs down here as well. Maybe we could throw in a dirt path with some stairs? There we go. Carve in some natural stairs there. There we go. We could even add a little sprinkling of some of these tiles here to make it seem like the area was better paved a long time ago. A little bit of environmental storytelling there, you know? Like we just kind of scratch the surface here, kind of feather our finger across the... Yeah. We can even make it look like the fence was added much later on historically. Because if we scratch up some of the ground leading up to it, but still leave it a bit overgrown beyond the fence, that implies that the grass has had time to grow. And if we keep our circle really small like there, you're going to see small pieces of stone. Breaking through, but not quite breaking the... not quite breaking the grass. And if we continue that on slightly beyond too, the natural fall of the grass. There we go. Oh, that's perfect. Where like the grass has kind of grown through the cobblestone. Oh, that looks good, because now we just sort of brush over it. And it looks like the grass is there. Right? The story of seasons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you want like a cozy farm sim that's like my answer to Stardew Valley, that's the one. What we'll even do is we'll even paint down here. There we go. A little bit too much there. That's better. Ah, nice. Alright, jellies. Stay right there for a hot second. I will be back in a moment. I'm just going to grab myself a quick drink of water, take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in like 2 minutes tops. So, stay right there, and I'll be back shortly. Don't move, and hell, maybe even like the stream while you're at it. Mwah. Be right back. Ta-da! What's up, Netherlings? I'm back. How we going, my little jellies? How we doing? How we feeling? How we faring? The Incubus hath returned. Hey. Hey, I'm back. Teehee. Get in here. We're hitting some cozy hours. All right, jellies. Come on. Gather around, you little ghouls. Oh, goodness. Scatter. Yeah. Oh, goodness. And, of course, Melian. Thank you very much for the Bushiba. We love Bushiba here. I got jump scared. I was expecting it and still got jump scared. What do you mean? I'm just building a nice little place here. Weeba. Goodness gracious me, Weeba. So I'm thinking, right? If we're thinking about this place historically, we've got the cute little monastery up there, right? And I like the idea of, like, the cute little monastery. I really adore it. Now, my brain, the old Incubus brain, is telling me that to go with the monastery, there's normally a small town nearby, right? So I'm thinking in kind of the shadow of the monastery here, we build a small little village. And that way it's almost like it's kind of this large area here. And then I'm wondering if we raise this exterior wall slightly. Or maybe even we take this and kind of curve it. It might be good. We weren't doing anything. Oh, totally. Oh, it's head pats for scaring us. You know you can just, like, get head pats whenever you want, right? Like, they come with, like, being a jelly. You get them, they're part of the jelly, like, Bill of Rights. The jellies are, your 4 jellies argued hard for that Bill of Rights. Make use of it. The jelly Bill of Rights explicitly says that you have the right to bear Incubus. That includes head pats. What are you playing? It's a lovely game called TinyGlade. It's about making tiny, cozy villages and kind of just getting the freedom to design cute little places. I think it's really good for making D maps personally, but teehee. Head pats, please. Whooshu, 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 whooshu. You've been waiting for the cute jellies, haven't you? Oh, my whole life. It's the right to bear Incubus. What do you mean? It's one of the fundamental cores of Netherlings. The Jelly Bill of Rights. And then what we'll do, I think we'll make a main house here, right? Because I don't want these homes to be too ostentatious. Good word, ostentatious. So instead of having them feel like very large and built up, I want them to feel kind of quaint. You know, like this is a small town that's sprung up around a monastery. So I want it to have that like constant feeling of being almost like on the edge of nowhere. Somewhere where people go to retire. We do indeed have laws. Indeed, the Netherlings do have the Jelly Bill of Rights. It is something the legalings established. The Jelly Council helped enforce it. There's an economy here. Well, not an economy, ecosystem. There we go. There's an ecosystem here. The right to unlimited head pats. That's serious jelly putts, right? I'm just saying, my jellies know how good they have it. My jellies know how good they have it. There we go. May I ask for lap rights? Of course. It was established previously that those are sole property of the jellies as well. We remember that from the cease and desist incident. From when legalings drafted a cease and desist letter to another FSP talent for sitting on my lap when I was in Japan. That face when an actual, like, when an actual cease and desist letter was drafted and sent. Hey, and Danya, thank you for the 1 year, darling. Thank you, thank you. Cheers to you. Happy 1 year. Head back rise for all the jellies. Yippee! Wait, I can hit that note higher. Yippee! There we go. Congrats, darling, on 1 year. I'm always so proud when I see jellies hit milestones like that. Again, whenever I see jellies hitting, like, cool milestones or, like, you know, that kind of thing, it makes me feel like I'm doing something right in the club. Oh, I like that. Can we... There we go. I like that kind of home design, actually. It looks weird without windows. And then Azuchi, Club Netherbrand's Bushiba representative. Hello, hello. Number go up. Number go up. Thank you for all the beautiful memories and your delightful company in here. And here's to many more. Mwah, sweet little guy. Teehee. Okay, but I'm evil as well. So, yeah. Teehee, I'm evil. We'll have double doors here. Maybe a little window here. I feel like we just want to go with a small window. Oh, that's good. Right there. Oh, that's nice. One more. Yeah, that's good. And we'll add a little window here. And then maybe... two there. Okay, this looks good. It's a cute little house. It's a little funky. We'll add a little smoke to it. Pretty evil. I was pretty evil then. Ooh. I think maybe this style of home would be good. It's not too ostentatious. It is a little on the larger side. But again, I feel like this is one of the nicer homes that could be offered. Like, I feel like that's one of the larger homes. Let's go with something maybe a little bit smaller. Oh, maybe we should change the brick color from the monastery as well. Because if the homes were built later than the monastery... Ooh, that makes way more sense, actually. Because then they'd have plaster over them instead of it being related to the monastery. And that way... we could even use some off-color. Let's keep the black on the foundations, right? So then we could say that historically, the homes in the village were constructed using leftover building bricks from the monastery. The foundations of the homes in the village were laid with leftover bricks from the monastery's construction. Yeah? 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 Law. Hey, and 𝓂𝓼𝓾𝓻, thank you for the silver. This stream is making me so productive. I finally started on my Chinese studying for my uni exam next week. I've procrastinated a lot. Lamau. I know very little in Chinese. Very, very little. I know like 2 phrases. Like 2. I know like 2. And one of them is wait a minute, where is it? Where is it? It was one of it was where'd I put the notes? Jellies will bonk you? Nah, you won't. No, you won't. You love me too much, right? You love me too much. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Huh. Aww. Wait, is the server not there anymore? Oh. Aww. Wait, I'm not in that server anymore. That's a shame. Oh well. I left that server after the meet and greet was done. I made a note for it though. I was gonna make a note for it though. There I was about to put out the big sister. Why are you ignoring me? Stop ignoring me. It's been my major for like 2 years now. I feel like I don't know more than 2 sentences either. Okay, but languages are like hard though. He keeps notes of things Jellies teach him. Well, yeah. What am I meant to do? Just ignore you guys? I can't. You bite me if I do that. I'm thinking like a smaller note. Like here. Maybe we gotta change the time of day. Somewhere around dawn. I want to see what the color of the roof looks like. Maybe like we go with red brick here. That might be cute, actually. How would this look from on the hill? Maybe a little too summery, though. Is there a deeper shade around? Maybe... Ooh, the brown might work. That looks nicer. Zanny, I know the running joke is that people have curse like when they raid into you, but never did. I thought it was when you raided into others. I don't know, maybe that was blessed luck, to be honest. I mean, I got to catch him in quite a candid moment. Got to catch my bro in a very candid moment, which was nice. Let's go with maybe like an L shape on this house. So this is the perimeter edge that we can use. We do that. Move this to right here. Grab a second one. Nice of you to offer a hand and tail. Well, I'm that kind of guy, you know? What can I say? He looked like he needed one. Or two. Or three. Nah, you know him. You know Koo. He's my best friend. Like, he's my fucking bestie. Like, he's bro. He's broski. Like, very few people have had my back in this industry as hard as he has. Okay. Nice. Oh, perfect. So one thing you'll notice here is in human psychology, people always want to find the path of least resistance to where they want to go. So that might make you think they want to do straight routes, right? However, in this instance, because there's like the slight upwards bend on the hill, people won't walk along the hill in order to get to where they want to go. Instead, what they'll do is they'll just follow as near to the slope as possible, like so, without actually crossing the hill, which is how you get these little raised areas that are still fine. Maybe that if this house wasn't here, we could build a little bit up the side and go here and fuck me. My day, Victory M, the certified Zanny hater. Thank you for the chaka. Anyways, yoink. Yoink. Well, thank you, darling. Thank you very, very much. Yoink just grabs. Well, what are you yoinking? What are you grabbing? What's with the grapple? My main inspo for this village. I'm thinking of old, like, 1400s monasteries. Like the old 1400s British monasteries. My days. And you just grabbed. Yoink. There we go. And now. And hey, right back at you too, darling. My days. Thank you for the rainbow, Emily. Thank you, thank you. Oh, goodness. Of course the hater gets the Akacha. Listen. Listen, 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 listen. Listen, okay? I have frustrated, teased, and provoked the Netherlings for decades and decades now. Right? That kind of vibe. It's been an eternity we've spent together. I should have figured you'd fight back sooner or later. Also, like, the ones during the Anglo-Saxon times? Exactly, exactly. Kind of smaller, more traditional, like, less ostentatious than the ones in, like, the Franco-Roman Empire. But then, like, kind of more Anglo-Saxon than, like, Bohemian, if you catch my drift. Because the Anglo-Saxon ones were always a little bit more, like, downplayed and a little bit more understated, I want to say, than the ones you were getting, like, sort of in the Anglo-Saxon kind of Charlemagne sort of period. And Dr. Clay. Well, to you too. Nerd. What do you want me to say? The Holy Roman Empire is a thing? The war has just begun. Jelly's continuing with their history of violence towards the Incubus. Also, by the way, fun little fact, the fishes run away from your mouse. Look at the fishes. They run away from your mouse. See, they've gone over there, but then, wha, down. Whoop, but where are you going? Oh, this one here, whoop. Nope, no you don't. Qua. 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 Werewolf brand? We love Nerdbrand. We love Nerdbrand, not Werewolf brand. The ducks. Oh yeah, the ducks. Wait till you get a load of the ducks. They're one of my favorite things. You can pet them. Cute, right. Tiny playlist, so many neat features. Understandable prelims, thing is underappreciated. Facts. Abject facts. I forgot I'm cooking dinner tonight. I'm cooking a Filipino dish called sinigang. I'm gonna lurk now. All good. Just get cozy and enjoy the cooking. I have chicky tendies. I have chicky tendies. I wish I could say that I had more, but no, it's chicky tendies. I'm making myself chicky tendies. Because they're like, I'm making myself buttermilk chicky tendies because they're the perfect combination of like, they're the perfect nutritional breakdown of what I need for the gym. They've got really solid carbohydrates in them. They've got really solid protein in them. And like, they're also just calorie dense enough for me to be able to fit them in, but without like taking a huge chunk out of my macros. So like, they kind of land perfectly. So as long as I eat a little bit clean during the day, I can have chicky tendies for like dinner most nights. Ooh, I got a question for you, Zander. Ooh. Go for it. I actually need to look into a diet for the gym myself. I will say, if you do want to start getting into the gym diet thing, don't buy into all of the bullshit they feed you with, like, carnivore diet, paleo, whatever, fucking, like, Nutra, whoever gives a fuck, right? Like, no. Don't buy into that. It's all scams. My thing is always do a DEXA scan, lean body weight in pounds. Just take the number in pounds, turn that into grams. So like if you weigh like 200 pounds, then it's just 200 grams. Shoot for that in protein on like work days and like training days. Get somewhere near it on your off days, and then just try and lean into a calorie deficit. Figure out what your regular macros are for your calories, and then aim for a calorie deficit. If you want to lose, go 100 to 200 calories above it. If you want to gain some muscle, boom. That's like my whole thing. They added a lot of like, I feel like the gym bros added a lot of like double speak into like just regular diet work, and also it's just a lot of like companies trying to deliberately conflate terms. Who thought the carnivore diet was a good idea anyway? It works for some people. So I have two answers to give. First of all, well, three answers to give. First of all, during the meet and greet, did you meet a fan who was holding up signing your bum with signatures? Yes. 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 That was Reiko, keeper of the Netherbrand. They've been around much time. And as for the carnivore diet thing, it works for some people. So some people who have gastrointestinal issues, or some people who have like stomach issues, carnivore diet does wonders for them, right? I know that like a lot of people who do kind of go down that, who do have those issues, when they do go just meat and like just proteins, it can help a lot. But like a lot of the time, I think it's unfortunately like a lot of, I think again, the gym bro culture got its hands a little too deep into that. And it ended up turning into one of those like, I don't even know how to call it. Bro science, I guess. It's the whole thing where like, you know, why yes, my fellow balding middle-aged man, your erectile dysfunction can be cured by eating only meat. But no, I know that it's helped some people with like medical gastrointestinal issues before. There are a lot of like cases of that, but like again, it's just one of those specialized diets to have. And keto, I did keto for a while. I tried keto, but it's just not sustainable in my opinion. I think the keto diet is just, it's so restrictive. Let me put it this way. I did keto, and I did keto for about 2 months. 3 maybe. I was very strict into keto at one point. Like, I want to say at the very, very start of the year, I actually did try keto diet for about 2 months, right? And it's normally about sort of, or maybe a little bit less than that. Probably a bit less than that. Maybe, probably started in like early December. So yeah, about 3 months. I did keto for like 3 months, I want to say. Maybe a bit less. Because I cut out all the carbs and I did all the stuff. And I was having the meats and I was having the keto-friendly everything, right? I can tell you this. As someone who was on a keto diet to drop fat, and then switched to just calorie deficit with moderate carbohydrates. Calorie deficit with moderate carbohydrates and like just consistent eating habits blew keto completely out of the water. It was ridiculous. Like it just completely blew it out of the water. Like there was literally just no similarity between the two in the slightest. Like it was fantastic. The difference, I got more done in more time, had more energy, like everything that they kind of said that keto should have been, where it's like, oh, you have the keto flu, but then you get tons of new energy, and then you do a bunch of this and a bunch of, like, nah. I tried it, but then you got to realize that like a lot of the things that give you energy are slow-release carbohydrates. And like, oh, you turn your body into a fat-fueling, burning, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't say that. Like, the big misconception with keto is the keto diet draws from your lipids themselves, rather than it simply being that it switches from using carbohydrates as the main source of energy storage within your diet to then using the fats within your diet as the main source of energy. So, energy storage. That's the big misconception, because it never really specifies whether it is burning like lipids, as in what is on you, or whether it is burning fats in your food. And I think that's a very deliberate marketing tool by the people who made it and those who have kind of profited off of it. So yeah, also, Emily, thank you for the popcorn. Thank you very much. It makes you have headaches and other issues. I hated it. I did it for 6 months. I just felt tired all the time when I did it. I felt tired all the fucking time. Oh. No, you know what? I did keto when Fred was here. I was 3 months into keto when Fred came to visit last year, because I was trying to drop a little bit of weight, and because I'd like got a little fluffy from bulking, so I was doing that, right? And I remember Fred came to visit, and I sat my ass down, and I was like, I am not going to sit here and be miserable while my best fucking friend is visiting. Like, I am not going to sit here. And I remember we walked to the docks. We were looking at, like, what food to get. And I was like, oh, do I get, like, a salad? Do I get a whatever? And I just sat there and I was like, you know what? I had this moment where I was like, you know what? Fuck keto, bruh. Fuck keto. And I ordered a giant fucking pizza and demolished it. And when I say I demolished that pizza, let me tell you, right? It was like a carbonara on bread. I kid you not. Let me tell you about a thing of beauty right now. Let me tell you, okay? Parma ham, all right? Prosciutto di Parma, all right? Prosciutto di Parma. Layered with Parma ham. White sauce on the bottom. Egg, right? The egg. Cream. Butter, right? All kind of gently put there to create that like thick viscous sauce, right? The cheese, not just regular cheese. No. You know that it needs a hard Italian cheese. Hard Italian cheese, right? Oh, and then to add that little bit of extra garnish to it, right? Ensalada, salad. Just a little bit of salad, right? Scattered across the center. A little bit of the greenery. Okay? A little bit of the greenery scattered across. And then, just to finish off, a little dash of olive oil across the top. But it's not regular olive oil, no. It's olive oil with this, like, crushed black pepper in it, right? Like, mixed in. So then, it's got these, like, peppercorns, like marinated peppercorn olive oil, right? You just take a bite, you get like this little bit of heat from the peppercorns, you get like the gentle little bit of like burst of flavor from the olive oil. You kind of combines. Not only that, right? It's thin crust. The dough is thin crust, wholemeal, thin crust, seeded dough, right? It's got the tiny little seeds on it. It's been gently dusted. It's been folded, right? It's been put in a wood-fired pizza oven. Cooked right in front of me, right? It was the pizza. The pizza. Let me tell you, all right? If that pizza was a woman, would have torn apart marriages. If that pizza was a man, would have called him a harlot, right? If that pizza was a man, it would have been one of those guys that goes to jail and has their mugshot go viral. I'm telling you. That kind of pizza, oh, that's the kind of pizza. The thin crust, but the thing is, the wood-fired pizza was just hot enough when it went in. That when you got the pizza in your mouth, you take a bite, and the dough still had that little bit of tug to it. There was that little bit of like almost snap to it in the crust. The crust had a snap to it still. The dough itself had that little bit of pullback. When you break through it, it's like that fluffy texture. Let me tell you, that was the pizza. If I never have another pizza again in my life, I can tell you that pizza, that was the one. Crazy first impression. Sorry, I was just explaining the experience of having a pizza after being like on the fucking keto diet. Context, I'm a gym rat. I gym rat like crazy. Did keto diet last year for like 3 months. Didn't have carbs for God knows how long. Best friend, 𝓱𝓸𝓾𝓻, came to visit. And pretty much, I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna have a pizza with him, and it was like my first like carbs in God knows how many months, and it was incredible. It was that once in a lifetime pizza. And Emily, thank you very much for the sofa. Hi, Zanny. I'm not suspicious. Nibble's tail. It's a netherling. They're inherently suspicious. Om nom nom, delicious carbs. Teehee. Goodness, teehee. Ooh, I want to have a local pizza soon. So, yeah, I feel like I can say this without it giving anything away. So, where I'm at right now, in the city, is that, I think I've mentioned to you guys that in the city, I live quite, like, nearish to the docks, right? So, it's quite nice. I can, you know, I can, like, walk all of 5 minutes and see the water. And, pretty much, one of the places by the docks is there's a little, like, food spot right on the water as well, kind of away from the shipping crates. And, it's literally, like, got a bunch of, like, food trucks would be the wrong word, because they're food trucks that have become so used to setting up there that they don't move anymore. They live there, and they've ended up building like a decking around them, and they've ended up putting up lights, and they've kind of just set up there. And if you ask the drivers of the food trucks, they'll say that they move around and they go from place to place. I have never once seen one of those people in the food truck move. They've got the wheels off, the stilts on. They go in every day. They don't move, right? They say that if they're told to move, they could move. But I've never seen those food trucks move once. But I'll tell you, they have a primo location right on the water. They all kind of like split the decking, and all of the food is so incredible because they're all competing against each other. Like, you got a Mexican little food truck, which does like essentially like restaurant quality food, competing against a little pizza place, competing against, well, the pizza place is like built into the place, but you get what I mean. Okay, but that sounds kind of incredible. That's a distinct food culture. Yeah, right? I love food trucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're all like, you run a little bit of a risk of poisoning yourself. But on the flip side, there's always the off chance that, like, you find something amazing. It's kind of like having to make a constitution roll in D&D, you know? Also, by the way, I know that I mentioned Vampire the Masquerade earlier, but bruh, I want to, like, they added a thing in V6 and I want to complain about it for like 3 seconds. So you know how I complained about in Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition? They took away the ability for you to be an older vampire. So you had to be like a young vampire. You couldn't be an elder. So like, they undid that in V6, right? They undid that. So you can be an elder again. But they did the dumbest thing ever. So they said you can be an elder again. But then they went, like, insanely overkill on it. And they were like, well, actually, you can't just be an elder now. You can be a whole-ass Methuselah, which is, like, one of the oldest vampires around. Which is insane in terms of lore. Because before it was like, you could be 8th generation, no higher, right? So you could be an 8th generation vampire. You couldn't be a 7th generation or a 6th generation, because those were, like, too old, and they're the ones that actually, like, change the world and have, like, power plays everywhere. But now they've turned around and gone, oh, well, like, actually, you can be a you can be a Methuselah now. You can be a 5th generation vampire. And I'm like, 5th? That's in, like, you're telling me that I can be one of the originals. You're telling me I can be like all of 5 handshakes away from being one of the originals. How dare. They went too far in the opposite direction. Exactly. So to put it simply like me, I'm a giant crybaby. and I complained about them taking away my older vampires and hand-waving them all away. So they responded by giving me too much in return, which is disappointing because I didn't want them to give me more than they took away. I just wanted them to give me what they took back. But now they ended up giving me more. And now I'm like, well, I don't want that much. It's the equivalent of saying, hey, my steak's a little underdone. Could you put it in for an extra few seconds? And then them handing me 2 steaks back. Except they're both char-grilled. Wait, then what's a first-gen vampire? Jellies. My gentle jellies. Ladies, gentlemen, non-former Euclidean entities. A jelly has asked a question that is now going to trigger a nerd rant and send me down a rabbit hole. I want you all to hold hands, hold nubs with that little jelly. And wish them well for the journey they are about to go on. Pack them provisions, you know, give them a little bindle to have over their shoulder with the little handkerchief tied around it. They're going to go on a very long journey now. And, we're not sure when they'll be back. This is a deep dive. So, in Vampire the Masquerade, there isn't actually a thing as a first-generation vampire. In Vampire the Masquerade, the actual version of vampirism that you get is based off of the idea of of kind of Judeo-Christian theology, right? With the idea stretching back to Cain and Abel. So, within the context of Vampire the Masquerade, the very first vampire, the granddaddy of them all in that context, would be Cain. Now, Cain very rarely makes appearances in the setting. However, the idea is that for the sin of killing his brother Abel in the setting, he was essentially cursed with eternal life. So the eternal life in this case was vampirism. In order to not be alone, he essentially passed on the gift of Cain, and they became a second-generation vampire. And then whoever took on the second generation then passed it on to a third generation, passed on to a fourth generation, passed on to a fifth generation, all the way down to where we are right now in the timeline, which would be the 19th generation of vampires. We're in the 19th, right? So, the oldest, or no, not the 19th, sorry, the 12th. It would be the 12th or 13th, depending, or the 14th. Usually it's between 12 and 14 is where we are in the timeline, right? However, the big thing here is that Cain disappeared from the narrative very, very early on. Cain is in Cain and Abel. Yes, Cain is in Cain and Abel. So, Cain disappeared from the narrative very, very early on, mainly because of the fact that it was a good idea for the writers not to want to have him around too much, because obviously, you know, you can't be doing too much in that direction. But with that in mind, right? So by that logic, a 5th gen would be biblical era. Close, good question, but close. You're assuming that they go one after another, but in reality, Cain wandered the earth by himself for essentially hundreds and hundreds of years before passing the gift on to someone else. And then Cain only passed that gift on to 3 others, from we know in the lore, right? It's between 3 and 5. The numbers change depending on who's writing it. However, with that 3 to 5 in mind, those 3 to 5 went on to pass it on to others, went on to pass it on to others, went on to pass it on to others. Now, we have to assume that hundreds of years went between passing on, because the gift used to not be as freely given. When there was only 3 or 4 or 5 of them in the whole world, or 10 of them in the whole world, the virus, the quote-unquote virus, didn't spread as far, right? Now, if we're talking kind of 5th generation, now, for a rough spectacle, if we're talking like 5th generation, we're talking somewhere about maybe like 600 to 800 AD type of beat, right? We're talking like Klaus from the originals, that type of vibe. If you guys want to like go in that direction, we're talking like Klaus from the originals type of vibe, right? Now, if we go beyond, now that's usually 5th generation, right? 5th is about there. Now, again, this timeline is quite stretchy. It's probably going to be a little bit on the later side, so do err on the more like conservative side with these, because assume that there's going to be a few more years than what I say. So we're probably looking around sort of like, again, like 600 to 1200 AD, depending on who's passing it from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, right? However, where things start getting a little bit out of control is when the world started getting smaller. So, when things such as airplanes, travel internationally, and of course, you know, popularization of things like music and cultures and stuff like that, and culture started being able to blend and mix freely, suddenly a lot of doors opened for a lot of kindred, and suddenly the vampires were out and about in that sort of genre. So they started going out, doing their thing, seeing the world, because obviously, you know, they could, and spreading the gift as they went. Now, there was less centralization in that point. Now, that was where, now, one of the things that actually helped slow the spread of, the, you know, the gift, as it were, was this thing called the Camarilla. Now, the Camarilla was established by someone at some point, which is essentially the vampire Illuminati, for lack of a better word. And their whole thing is they control and oversee the different clans, because out of all of the individuals who, you know, Cain passed his initial gift on to, it was around, again, 3 to 5 sort of way. Out of those, a handful of clans ended up being born. So those clans ended up representing different like aspects of humanity, ended up representing different belief systems, ended up representing different things, and so on and so forth, right? But with that in mind, we're not going to focus on that. Instead, we're just focusing on the timeline. However, right, the vampire Illuminati, the Camarilla, tried their hardest to slow the passing of the gift from one to the next, to the next, to the next, because they were aware that essentially the prophecy of Gehenna was always coming. So the prophecy of Gehenna was the idea that when the blood runs out, the rough idea is when the blood runs out, when the blood becomes too thin, it's a sign that the end of the world is coming. So, you know, many reasons have sort of been speculated in canon why. My opinion is that the Camarilla in the highest levels knew that this was coming. However, the Camarilla is kind of one of those things where the older vampires don't get seen anymore. The antediluvians, which are the old ones, go out of their way to not be seen, right? So they deliberately position themselves behind layers and layers and layers and centuries of schemes that may take millennia to come to fruition, right? However, the overarching belief is that among the antediluvians, they know that when the blood becomes too thin, so when it's been passed on too many times, it's the calling card that Gehenna is coming, so the end of the world. Now, we've now reached the 14th generation, or as some are calling it, the cursed 14th generation. Now, the cursed 14th generation, what do you think the cursed 14th generation means? If you said the blood's finally started to run out, you'd be correct. So, the vampire blood that originally passed on the gift of Cain all the way back has ended up becoming so diluted over 14 generations that it's ended up creating thin bloods now. Now, unfortunately, the people at White Wolf are pussies, and they stopped using the term thin blood because of the fact that they're little bitches, because of the fact that they didn't like that term, even though it was used in Vampire the Masquerade for like 30 years, and they were like, "Ooh, but it could be, but what if it's offensive?" And I'm like, just don't be a little bitch. If someone wants to, don't be a little bitch. So they've started using they're using Duskborn now. Don't be a little bitch. Call them thin bloods. It's what they are. So. Okay, just to clarify here, they didn't like the term thin bloods because they felt like it was like a little bit of a loaded term. However, it's fiction. First of all, it's fiction. Second of all, the reason the term was used was deliberately to sound derogatory because of the fact that, like, the vampires of higher generations look down on the 14th generation because they see them as a cursed thing and a sign of the end times. So, like, I'm sorry, they're not going to use a polite term to refer to them. I'm sorry. They're thin bloods and they always will be. Right? So, with the thin bloods, right, isn't it supposed to be exactly? So with the thin bloods, right, with the thin bloods, what happens is they don't manifest their clan's powers like their forebearers are meant to. They're weaker, they aren't as effective, but they're weaker, they aren't able to manifest powers the same way, they don't have access to, like, higher tier abilities, and they are just generally, like, a bit useless. They're too weak to hunt on their own often, they need help, like, hunting. However, there's a little bit of a sidetrack to that, though. Even though they're a bit useless and they don't manifest any of the gifts of Cain, on the flip side, they also aren't as affected by sunlight. It still burns, it still hurts, might kill them, but it takes a little bit to do it. They can't be compelled by higher tier vampires in some cases, because the blood is so thin in them, they can't have their vampire nature compelled out of them. So suddenly, they've lost a lot of the downsides. They've kept the immortality. And they've managed to kind of end up in this weird half sort of Sunwalker place, right? Now, don't get me wrong, they still aren't walking around going tanning and all of that, but there's a few benefits in there. Now, do they outweigh the Banes? Not really, but it's still a bit of a sign. Now, the bit that gets real dicey spicy, is the caitiff. Now, the caitiff are usually made up of 14th generation vampires. Now, if a sire has a, you know, turns a vampire, and they end up being, you know, a 14th generation, usually, if there's no issue and all is good and you know, the vampire does what they're meant to and they're able to perform as they're meant to, there's no harm in them being 14th generation. Oh well, you know, yeah, sure, they'll be called a thin blood at the local Elysium, but you know, no problem. Fair enough. But the 𝓂𝓸 start being a bit of a problem. The 𝓂𝓸 are vampires that get abandoned by their sire quite often after they end up being found to not manifest, you know, gifts of Cain as a thin blood. Now, the 𝓂𝓸 are without clan, they're without loyalty to any particular thing, and they're left alone in the world. But this weird little quirk happens sometimes with 𝓂𝓸s. They start being able to manifest powers outside of the clan's bloodline that they descend from. So, if their like sire was a Toreador, they could start getting they could, if they're interested, or like they start erring that way, start getting some gifts from a Malkavian bloodline, which they have no ties to. And that starts making people a little bit nervous. Because suddenly these very distinct barriers between houses and blood start breaking down. And suddenly it's, we can't compel this thing. And this thing can use things outside of their discipline at a very low level, but one thin blood being able to use all, what, 14, 13 different clans' disciplines at a basic level might kind of start outweighing one old master who's stuck in one discipline or one bloodline. And suddenly it starts getting a little nervy, because if there's one guy that's a jack of all trades and one guy that's a master of one thing, I'm sorry, but the one that can do like 14 different disciplines at a basic level might just beat the one dude who's able to just read minds. And then the diablerie talk starts coming in. Then you realize that there's one cure for being a thin blood. There is a cure for it. It's a magical cure filled with peace and love and acceptance and tolerance and all beautiful rainbows and lollipops and sunshine. A thin blood can stop being a thin blood if a group of thin bloods get together, pin down a vampire of a higher generation, and proceed to tear him apart and drink him dry, killing him forever. And whoever drained all of the life out of that older vampire gains his generation. So, if a 14th generation vampire manages to get a bunch of his mates together, pin down maybe like a 10th generation vampire, one of them jumps on him, sticks their fangs in his neck and drains him dry, and kills him. That little 14th generation vampire isn't 14th generation anymore, he's 10th. His blood changes and transmutes, but he gets to keep the thin blood powers. He gets to keep multi-discipline. He can just learn everything to a higher level now, like he was a 10th generation. And suddenly the older vampires start getting a little nervous in the setting. Suddenly they realize, wait a minute. If they can do that, what's stopping them all from coming together? And what's stopping gangs of roving 𝓂𝓸s and thin bloods from waiting until, like, elders are alone to suddenly jump on them and tear them to pieces? What's stopping them? And then you realize nothing's stopping them. Nothing except social graces and political posturing. And that's why things are a little bit nervy. That's when they realize, well, what happens when one guy says, hey, let's get the elder down the road, and then once I drain him dry, and my 6 mates help me, we'll go around, and we'll drain the next elder, and then, you know, once I've got a turn, Billy will have a turn, and then once Billy is then I have had a turn, then the two of us will grab another one that's older, and Hans can have a turn, and then me, Billy, and Hans, after we've all had a turn, can go give Sharon a turn after we grab another one and pin him down, and then we'll grab another one after that, and we can just auction that one off. And that's how you get gangs of roving caitiff thin bloods turning around and trying to nom everyone. I'm familiar. I'm familiar, indeed. So yeah, that's a quick explanation to why everyone's paranoid on Vampire the Masquerade. Teehee. I hope you enjoyed your trip down this nerd rabbit hole. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you make sure that you packed enough food? It was a long journey. This is why it's dangerous to ask me nerdy questions during these times. You'll get a hyperfixated rant. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, God, there were supers as well. Oh, God. And Horatio Cozy Moonlight, thank you for the nether stare. And Emily, thank you for the popcorn twice over. Mwah, to that, darling. And Freak Bun, can I ask your opinion on 𝓂𝓸𝓼𝓽? Also, yes, World of Darkness. 𝓂𝓸𝓼𝓽. Just double checking the blue guys, right? Just check it. The blue guys, the baby eaters. Just double check. If they're not the baby eaters, I'm sorry I called them the baby eaters, but I'm pretty sure they're the baby eaters. No, the three-eyed ones. Ah, no, okay, not the baby eater. Not the baby eaters, the three eyes. I don't know too much. I don't remember too much of them. They are a rare bloodline, so you'll have to excuse me for not knowing immediately everything off of the top. But I do know that they're a really good option for people who want to play Malkavians, but also want to retain some level of, like, dominate, but don't want to play a dominant Malkavian. So if you don't want to fucking LARP and be a fish Malk, then, like, they're a really good alternative for that. I remember I suggested one to a player at some point. I know their feeding habits I thought were really interesting when I thumbed through the book. I couldn't recall what they were, but I do remember they had specific feeding habits. And I like that they're like a knowledge and sort of like a magic-y based one that aren't Tremere, because Tremere are stupid. I don't like the Tremere. I don't like the Tremere. I had a player that played a Tremere. The guy who, like... Okay. The guy who mixed Colderists the first time used to be my buddy, and he played a Tremere in that campaign because he was like an old friend, and who like shysted me on that, and I was like, bruh. The guy who like shysted me on my mixing played a Tremere, and ever since then I've been like Tremere. Opinion on 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻? I really wish the writers would be consistent with them. They really need to pick a lane for them. The 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 aren't... The 𝓂𝓸𝓾 aren't victims of bad characterization. They're victims of bad writers that don't know how to actually put them in a context. The 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻, they just don't know how to write them. I'm so real. They're good. They're victims of awful characterization. The fact that they were the hand behind the Sabbat for so many years, and then 5th edition retconned them into joining the Camarilla, when they'd been the Camarilla's literal, like, main enemy for decades, like millennia. They'd been the main bad guys of the campaign for the setting for millennia. Then they had them switch sides last minute because they wanted the Sabbat to feel like they were bad guys and not smart. They wanted the bad guys to feel stupid, and having a smart, crafty thing was there. And I think, like, how do I put this? I don't wanna say something that's like a little loaded. I feel like because they are one of the, like, they're one of the clans that are presented as very, like, traditionally, like, American. They don't present them as very, like, they're one of the non-Eurocentric clans. It feels very much like they go out of their way to, like, soften the character's lore and the clan's lore to the detriment of the clan itself. It feels very much like, because they're one of the non-Eurocentric clans, they do them dirty by, like, having them be very, like, soft-balled on everything. When they do something bad, it's not really that bad. But that creates a detriment. And when they switch sides and become heroes, they act like it was meant to be this whole time. And this was actually the grand plot. But because there was no investment in getting them there, despite me having the 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 being my second favorite clan in the whole game for their shadow powers and their amazing stuff, right? Like, it feels very much like they're kind of just they're kind of softballing the clan constantly, because it's like, again, it's one of the few non-Eurocentric clans, and like, I think that's really disappointing. And I think that, like, I think that they reduced the dichotomy of 𝓂𝓸𝓾 versus Camarilla down to a very simplistic thing of 𝓂𝓸𝓾 bad, Camarilla good, when it's more like 𝓂𝓸𝓾 chaos, Camarilla order, but neither one should ever be allowed to win. And the 𝓂𝓸𝓾 always represented the chaos within the order that was necessary for chaos to be able to fight back. Much like how, and this is my last statement on it before I go on too long, but much like how the 𝓂𝓾 represented the chaos within the order that was necessary in order for the Camarilla to go on. Because if there was no 𝓂𝓾, there would be no foot soldiers. There would be no one to keep the peace in terms of, you know, actually having raw manpower. But of course they were uncontrollable and they were rebellious constantly. But that was the cost they had to pay. There had to be chaos within the order for the system to continue to thrive. And the 𝓂𝓸𝓾 were the reflection of that, which were, they were the order within the chaos that allowed the other system to thrive. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm pumping the brakes now. I'm pumping the... Yes, legit. Thank you. Speak on it, Incuman. My days. And of course, Nivea, thank you for the 2 months. Every time you go on a nerd rant, I imagine some jellies go, blah, 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 proper name, place name, backstory stuff. Affectionately, I am said jelly. That face when, like, other talents have sent me that meme before. I think Rai sent me that meme before when I go on nerd rants with him. He's literally just sent it to me where it's like, blah, 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 proper name, place name, backstory stuff. He's sent that, like, Rai's literally sent that to me. Like, it's that. It's literally that. My days. No, it's not that you don't enjoy the nerd rants. Of course you enjoy the nerd rants. I mean, I'm doing them. Of course you do. But, like, you get what I mean. I'm aware that, like, the nerd rants are a hell of a thing. They're a powerful little beast. And Kit Katoshi, thank you very, very much. Or Cat Katoshi, sorry. I keep wanting to call you a Kit Kat. I'm so sorry. It's like the chocolate. Cat Katoshi. So glad I asked. That was wonderful and informative. I regret nothing. I'm glad you enjoyed. It's part of my secret nerd powers. My secret nerd powers continue to be able to, like, carry me forward in this world. Oh my goodness. And of course, Nekoyasha. No, I love cute nerdy Zanny's hyperfixation rants. Do it again. I mean, I'm happy to tackle any of my favorite nerdy topics. I'm good. Like, what else can I tell you? Oh, I own... Exactly. I own one of the original copies of Cyberpunk 2020. One of the original physical copies. When my storage locker got broken into, it was one of the only things that wasn't, like, stolen. So, dude took a binder full of worthless Magic the Gathering cards when he got in, but left the actual, like, hella valuable Cyberpunk 2020 core book because didn't know what it fucking was. And like, it's one of the original copies from like 1990 something. So it's one of the few copies sold somewhere that wasn't America. So it was that. It's also, I also have copies of the original Europunk as well, so the original expansions for Cyberpunk 2020 as well. So I have three of the four original expansions for Cyberpunk 2020 as well, called Europunk, which were published in the early 2000s, 2001, I believe. And they are not really physically available from that time anymore. There are reprints that came into stock, which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's like one of my like little prized possessions, and I actually got it back when I was about a 116-year-old Incubus. I saw it in a charity store, and it was all of $4, and I paid 4 smackaroos for it. And yeah, I paid all of 4 smackaroos for it. It was old, kind of beat up, the covers faded to all hell. And yeah, it was $4, and it's amazing. I love it. And the expansions as well, I got a few years later when I again found them in another charity shop, and they were literally like softback magazine things. And literally, I just picked up all 3 of them and just went to the counter, and they were $2 a piece, and they came to a total of 6 smackaroos for all of the expansions from the original like 1990s. So yeah, no, I literally got like all of these really rare Cyberpunk books from thrifting. So yeah. Macklemore ain't got nothing on me, bitch. Oh, goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. And Emily, thank you for the super. Hello, Zanzan. Are these games? If so, what's the goal in each game? And how many games are there? I've never heard of this before you started yapping. Buckle up, buckaroo. Okay, so Vampire the Masquerade actually started life as a TTRPG, so that's a tabletop role-playing game, kind of the same as D&D, but D&D kind of took over the genre from the 1980s onwards. However, there are competitors and other people in the marketplace, so whereas D&D is produced by Wizards of the Coast now, and ostensibly Hasbro, on the flip side, there was also other companies that were in the ring at the time. So right now, the IP for Vampire the Masquerade is owned by White Wolf, which then in turn is owned by Paradox Interactive. So Paradox Interactive, you might know from video games. They made Stellaris, they made Age of Wonders, I believe. They made they've made a whole bunch, right? So, but Paradox Interactive kind of have made a bunch of stuff, right? So, but either way, the idea is that they're a tabletop role-playing game, much like D&D, where you create a character and you go about, you essentially go about like you know, the DM guides the story, and they write the story, and they kind of just exist as a vampire for the length of one story, and that can be a series of weeks or months. My Vampire the Masquerade campaign lasted about 9 months when I played it, but I was the DM. I like to craft I sort of like to craft very much like hand-done stories. I like to make sure that all of the stories that I tell as the storyteller are based in having a lot of reactivity with the player's decisions. I usually invest in, like, you know, I usually put a lot of my own time and a lot of my own, like, effort into making sure that the game is unforgettable. And in the words of 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻, who is one of my regular players, I hope I win the lottery one day so I can force you to move in with me and DM for me and my friends full time. I won't let you out the house. I'll just pay you to live there and DM for me. So yeah, that's the words of 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻, which I think is a positive review. I think that's a positive review of all the campaigns that I've run. So... I'll take that as a win. 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 saying they're not gonna let me outside. But yeah, I usually focus on a lot of interactivity, branching stories, and go from there. Fundamentally, Vampire the Masquerade is one of the oldest and kind of most beloved systems. However, one of the things that's happened is the ownership of the IP has often caused a bit of trouble. So it's been bought and sold a large number of times. At one point, I believe it was even held for a very short duration by a private equity fund. Before being pawned off to someone else, before being pawned off to someone else, before being pawned off to someone else. And yeah, no. In the end, it did end up getting picked up by Paradox, who attempted to stabilize the IP. However, they've made some questionable decisions in regards to what they want for the player base. And unfortunately, it seems like they took the kind of D&D approach where they want to be kind of going with the most mainstream possible options so that they can ideally kind of build their player base and make it a kind of mainstream thing. But the issue there is the fact that, unfortunately, as much as you want to break into the mainstream market, with Dungeons and Dragons being as prevalent as it is right now, it's looking like it's an oversaturated market now. You know what? The big kid at the table's eating all the food. So it's losing a lot of the core player base. But it was beloved for a very, very long time. Again, you know, Vampire 20th Anniversary Edition is superior. I will fight anyone that tells me different. But I have a long-standing relationship with Paradox, and you know I've beta tested for them before. I've beta tested a bunch of their TTRPGs that they've made before. Hell, Fred is even Frederick Newson, my bestie, is even one of their official like spokespeople. So so like shit. I have a weird relationship. I have a weird relationship with that company. On one hand, I'll trash them and tell them their TTRPGs are horrible. Their video games are great, but their TTRPGs are ass. But then on the flip side, I'm like, yeah, your video games are great. And one of the people who like is your regular like talking person is like my best friend who comes to stay with me a couple weeks of the year. So we got an interesting dynamic. Cousin Brand needs to kidnap your other players and convince them to play Lancer so they can update me on Lancer campaign shenanigans. Serious. So, I tried to get the Lancer campaign going, but my players voted, and unfortunately I give my players human rights, which I think is a mistake on my part, if I'm totally honest. I allow them democracy, which, let's be real. I mean, that was a mistake, wasn't it? Unfortunately, I gave my players democracy and let them vote for what they wanted to play. Instead of doing this thing that a smart man would do, which is instead gather them all in one place, say, here, you're playing this now, and then hand them their character sheets, I let them choose. And unfortunately, I was informed that they didn't wish to play anything where they were a human. They wanted to play something where we were supernatural. And I was like, okay, we can do that. We can do that. We can do that. Okay. Do you want to play like some sins, something like that? And they were like, nothing apocalypse setting. And I'm like, okay, nothing apocalypse setting, supernatural. I'm like, nothing apocalypse setting. So that narrowed it down a little bit, because unfortunately, giving people decisions and rights is oof, I don't know. No. In the end, we settled on Demon the Descent, and then we had we ended up having the schedule timings shift around, and then we had a player pull out as well, and then we had more schedule timing shenanigans. So it ended up becoming a bit of a thing where you had to put it on pause for a while. One of these days. And Emily, thank you for the super. Thank you for the nerd dump, Zanny. Mwah. Hey, always happy to oblige. Always happy to oblige you with a nerd dump. Hey, and of course, hey, MK. Oh, MK. Is that Mackenzie Sinner? Wait. I'm gonna say that's. Wait, I'm being dyslexic. Give me a second. I'm being dyslexic. MKZ Singer, there we go. MKZ Singer, there we go. Me having my dance moms moment where it's like, Mackenzie? Mackenzie? Where are you on the pyramid this week, Mackenzie? MKZ Singer, thank you for the 3 months, darling. I'd like to thank the kind jellies that keep sniping me. Oh, no, they're not being kind. This is a kidnapping. They're not being... That's how they get you. They gift you Netherbranded for, like, month after month. So, till you're here 3 months. And then you're stuck here forever. That's what... Once you're here 3 months, the doors disappear. That's, like, the trick. It's not kindness. This is a kidnapping. Now get in the van. Oh, goodness. No one said anything about kidnapping. You didn't have to. I know your modus operandi. Like, this is regular behavior. What do you mean? You can't leave now. It's adoption day. It's adopting. How dare. It's adopting. Exactly. The Netherlings have adopted you now. You're stuck here forever. Have fun. Leave? What does that mean? Leave? Leaves? Yeah, like leaves. Like grass. Like trees. Side note, you saying give your players human rights made me snort unattractively. Well, it was a mistake on my part. What can I say? It's called adoption, Incubus, 𝓂𝓸𝓾𝓻 time. You literally call it kidnapping. What do you mean? You guys literally call it kidnapping. What do you mean? You've literally called it kidnapping before. Why am I in the wrong for calling it by the name you call it? It's adoption. We also call it adoption. Well, yes. Yes, it's called adoption. Yes. And they also call murder unaliving on TikTok, but it doesn't make it sound any less stupid. Anyways, so listen, we're deep enough into the stream that the YouTube bots aren't going to flag me for saying that. It's fine. Okay, but that's low-key, like, beautiful. Aww. I finally got back from errands. I shut my TTRP YouTube now. Oh, perfect, perfect, perfect. It will definitely reach me. It will definitely reach me. That is the one with the line to the secret hole that I go to. That's the one with the string in the cup that I sometimes pick up. Let's see how this looks at night. Let's give it a little whoop. Let's say that's midnight. So let's say late in the evening. Let's start off with late in the evening. Where does it look late in the evening? Somewhere around, let's say here. Evening light. Make it a little higher, actually, in the sky. Just a little bit. Okay. So the west is over there. And if we're looking down from the top of the hill... Okay. The sun doesn't set in any particular way. Simple enough, honestly. I think maybe here would probably be the best spot for seeing the sunset. Run it back a few seconds. Reverse time a few seconds. I think probably... Yeah. Yeah. Nope, no real sunset. The thick forest covers a lot of it. Okay, I don't mind that, though. It's a quiet kind of ending. There is no discord in Ba Sing Se. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. With time still advancing on... Ooh, where the hell am I? Huh. The moon isn't in the correct position, I don't think. Is it? Actually, maybe it is. Okay. So from up here, that's the angle. Or maybe it's different when we're looking at it on the ground, but... Let's push time a little bit again. No, we must have nudged the angle. Let's see if we can... Nudge the... Let's have the village facing south. If the village is facing south... Oh, bleh, I got in the pond. E. If the village is facing south... The crest of the moon should land... Come on. Oh, the dial moon. Oh. Okay. Dawn... Let's have the village facing south. Let's measure exactly where the village would need to face for the moon to rise perfectly between the two monastery towers. Let's see if we can nudge that. Does the moon not quite reach there? The moon is in the opposite direction. Oh, interesting. So for the moon to be there... Oh. Oh. There. Oh. A little bit more. Oh. Steady. Oh. So the village faces north. Oh, so it goes around. Oh, it doesn't rise that way. It's the... Oh, so dawn actually comes about... Oh, so let's rewind it then. So if we flip this around... So that the moon is facing the opposite way... Then the moon should come up? Question mark? Between those two towers? There's the sun. The sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Moon? Oh, I'm not moving the sky. I'm just moving the orientation of the village. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, does that matter? Wait. I'm being very small-brained right now. That should be the moon rising there. Except it's going in the opposite direction? Oh, is that its setting? And then day starts. So where's the moon rising? Wait a minute. Where does the moon come from? Oh, the moon doesn't rise. It just appears. Oh. That explains so much. So that's how the moon works. Wait a minute. I'm so smart. So the moon doesn't rise between the towers. There we go. Perfect. So if we run that back, the moon sets between the towers of the monastery. And if we freeze this moment in time, so that it's sat perfectly right there, give or take, a little bit less. A little bit more. A little bit less. There we go. Hey. And Emily, nighty-night Incubus and adorable Netherlings. Hey, nighty-night Emily. Sleep tight. Oh. Oh, I like that. So the moon is always going to be visible above the monastery. In theory, then, if the moon is visible above the monastery, then the dawn should be visible above the town. I think. Let's see. So if we're here, the dawn should either come from the right or the left. Oh, there we go. Unless... Yeah, there's the dawn. Oh, is the dawn gonna... Oh. We might have to build something that's, like, facing that way, then, for the dawn. Because if the dawn comes there, maybe we should knock these trees, and... That could be really good. If the dawn comes there, then we could rub these trees out. And have something kind of there. That makes sense. And then that leaves the forest down the back of here as well, which I think is pretty good for us to use. The monastery. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, goodness. The monastery. Moon. The moon. What are we envisioning here, Jellies? What are we seeing? What do I see? What do you see? What do we see? What is the picture before us? I am seeing... Okay, yep, yeah. I'm seeing a little run of homes. Okay. The Monastery of the Moon sounds like a setting, right? You jellies better be ready to steal this and put it into your own stories and settings. You better be ready to do it. Jellies, I want you ready to steal this shit. A good jelly is always ready to steal from their incubus. It's part of the jelly rights. It's part of the right to bear incubus. Anything that's the incubus's belongs to the jellies. Okay. Market Square. Put this here. Get rid of those edges. 'Tis the sacred right of the Netherling. Indeed. Can we have your horns? What do you mean? You only spend half your time trying to chew on them. We expand this outwards as far as it'll go. Then what we do is... No, we don't do that. Ooh. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we Scooby-Dooby-Doo. And that explains the mess of paths here. We throw a little bit of this round here. Okay, there was this rotunda when I was living in Poland, right? And what happened was... it was literally a circle. Like, literally a rotunda that had a... like a circle built into the middle that was one big building, right? And what happened was there was no way inside the building apart from little doors on the outside, but each one had a window where it was selling, like, food from. And they all shared this little, like, cheese wedge, essentially, in the middle. I wonder if that could work visually here. Because I remember I was at that rotunda when I tweeted Australia wasn't real, because I'd been drinking far too much. And they wouldn't let me in the karaoke bar without paying 50s latte. No, I don't think that's going to work here, but I do think a series of stalls is going to work. There we go. They wouldn't let me sing karaoke. I had to, like, pay to go in, and I was like, oh, I pay to go into a karaoke bar. It's not real, though. Yeah, no, I was spreading the good word that Australia wasn't real. What if we got creative with walls here, though? Got rid of this. Grabbed this. Got this. These are fences. However... one of these here... I feel like I'm playing Matcha 𝓂𝓻𝓻. One of those there. You too, my little jelly. Spades, thank you for the glizzy. Mate, you want to go? Go where? Certainly not Australia, because it's not real. Go where? Oh, goodness. And 𝓂𝓻𝓻, thank you very much for the super. This jelly will head out for the day to get some treats after working on another gift for you, which has some lore. Enjoy your evening. Mwah. Love ya. A mwah to you too, darling. Rest up. Have a good one. Ooh, these columns could work really nicely. Come to our stage, give a tour. Why do you think FSP hasn't done a meet and greet in Australia yet? Because it's not real. We make this look a little broken down. I thought I knew someone from Australia, but it turned out to not be real. See? You get it. They're just paid actors. You're trying to tell me that a place with kangaroos and widespread alcoholism is real? Sure. Ooh, I don't like the idea of grabbing more of these. Ooh. I like that. We're gonna drag and drop. Oh, this feels very Roman now, I will say. This feels very like Roman bards, you know? I like that. You're telling me some of the sweetest jellies I know are paid actors? Well, I mean, just that they're Australian, you know, they're just told to pretend to be Australian. Like, you don't worry about all the rest. The rest is real, you know. It's just the part where they say they're from like Australia. Like, they're just told to pretend to be from there, you know. Like a market square. Exactly. Ooh, needs a little more height. There we go. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to drop as well. Nice. All right. Now we grab this. Put it here. Clone. Here. Clone. Here. And maybe if there's an option for something in the middle. Come on. There. Fruit. There we go. Now we grab these and we add the windows. But what we do specifically is we put them in the middle, click once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times. So we get the specific ones with these shutters. And then it looks like a little serving kiosk. And with the roof, we add a small slant on the roof. We need this to be real thin. I like that. We could probably even drag this a little to the left so that it sat... No, actually, no. We'll leave it where it was. I like that. And I think having the little market there will show that the monastery... In my mind, historically, the monastery, like... Okay. So in my mind, the monastery was built here, and then the town slowly sprang up around it to support the monastery's needs. Because historically, places like monasteries, places like, you know, wherever, often end up being sort of where other towns and places and cities get built, right? So if it ends up with that sort of thing, then they end up sort of leaning into that direction. So if they turn around and have, like, you know, infrastructure that seems to have popped up around the monastery, then it makes it feel more legit, like there's an actual history there. So the monastery came first, probably, and then after the monastery, it came that there were probably going to be traders that needed to trade with the monastery regularly for fruits and vegetables and regular fresh food during the winter months brought in from other places. So what happened was the traders who were coming ended up building a little market square here, right? Or maybe a couple of them built small houses over here, which then got expanded upon as the years passed and became larger. And then these small houses ended up needing to be traded with. So they started with building a small market square. So that way the traders could trade among each other. Maybe people's families of the traders ended up moving here as well because of the fact that it was, you know, quiet and out of the way. And they then could stay here during the winter months and know that the monastery was like keeping an eye on them. This was a peaceful area. So what would happen was the traders would come here, the families would kind of trade in the market and stuff like that. And now we're like a generation removed, or like a cousin removed or something like that. This small little like market town, or this small little monastery town, still has the monastery on the hill here, which is still the whole thing. The monks come down during certain times. They trade over here. The gold and silver gets taken back over to here, to like the homes, to kind of improve and renovate. And then, you know, they end up going to the monastery to like pray and do all of their stuff. And then they come back with, you know, it's like almost a little cycle within the town. And it kind of works. Love the lore we come up with for Tiny Glade, right? Isn't it peak? Cute, yeah. We can't have that too close, but I think we can shrink it a little bit. We can downsize. Yeah, that'll work. Perfect. Ah, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Nice. We'll make sure that, like, the old stonework is still visible around the back as well. The old stonework being visible is kind of perfect. Let's slide this over to here. Oh, that's looking good. Jellies, how are we feeling? 1, 2. We'll start winding down in a bit, but so far, so good, right? Oh, my jellies. Shh, shh, shh. The bird box will turn into something else. Let's say crates. Crates are good. More fruit. More fruit might be a good move, actually. We could put the fruit here. Ooh. The potatoes also work. The big... Oh, no, give me that back. The big sacks of grain and potatoes might work, because then we can have the stand there. That actually works really nicely. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be good. Maybe we should make these more of an L shape. Ooh, what if we take this, grab one of these, slide it narrow, put this closer to the corner, so this follows in turn. Move this to here. Take the window. Slide it onto the edge. Grab this. Slot it here. Pull it up. Give it a roof. Slide it lengthwise. Ooh, this might actually be better. Ooh, this might actually be, like, perfect. This might just be the better option. We grab this, grab this, grab this, grab this, rotate 90 degrees. Pull it lengthwise. Sit it on the corner. Grab this. Pull. Ooh. I think that's the better option. Let's use the eraser on the pathing. Just there. I think that breaks down the wall slightly as well. And then what we'll do is we'll fill out this side with doors and windows and walls and stuff like that, and doors and windows and walls and doors and windows and walls, etc., etc., etc. And it gives us kind of a perfect launch off point. But on that note, jellies, I think that's the perfect place to drop a save and start winding down for the night. So, with that, if you guys did enjoy a little bit of Tiny Glade, I would love it if you maybe dropped a like on the stream, and of course that really does help out the channel. It does go a long way. It does do a lot for me. So heck, just heck and go for it. Just go for it, my little jellies. Just go for it, you know? And of course, if you are new here, maybe consider giving that subscribe button a little tap as well. Give it a little love tap, all right? That way you get to catch me again, and there's more likely that you'll see me once more. And what can I say? It lets me know that you love this comfy, cozy chaos. So, with that in mind, thank you each and every one of you for coming out to tonight's stream. I did not expect to go on as long as I did. I expected to be done a while ago, but honestly, I was having such a good time that I just caught myself being so lost and like being exactly where do you two exactly, my little jelly. Now, who said that? Who said that? And Doan, what's up, 1-1? Hi, Danny. Didn't want to bother, but I made an Incubus University some thumbnail. Too shy to tell you. Oh, bitch, I'll take it happily, bruh. I'll happily take Incubus University. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Of course I'll take Incubus University. I'll take Incubus University any day of the week, any month of the year. My goodness gracious. But I hope you guys enjoyed Tiny Glade. It's our first time touching it in what feels like months and months and months and months, right? I think we've held off on Tiny Glade for like quite a long while, like a really long while, maybe like 6 months, maybe less, maybe a little less than 6 months. But I'm glad that you guys actually really enjoyed it. Glad I got to stop by at least for a little. For sure. I'm really glad that you guys got to stop by for a while too, honestly. Tiny Glade is one of those games that I do see as like a little treat where I'm able to just like sit back, relax, yap about my favorite things, and honestly like just do my thing. And I'm so glad that you guys get into it as well. It does feel like a treat. It does feel like a little bit of like, oh, it just feels lovely being able to do that. And it's very rare that I just get to do my thing. So with that in mind though, I will obviously be back tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel, same everything. The waiting room will be going up. It will be doing its thing. It will be carrying on. I would love to see you all then. And of course, it's going to be a little bit of story of season. So if this was comfy cozy, wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be comfy cozy as all heck. So I'd love to see you there. It's going to be a little bit of us farming, a little bit of us building some relationships in the village, and a little bit of cozy yapping. And we will be going for a little bit extra long as well before Incubus University kicks up and gets fully underway. But with that, I have been Zander Netherbrand. You have been my dear sweet Netherlings. And I will see you all far, far, far sooner than you think. So, until the next, stay comfy, stay cozy, and I'll see you in your dreams, my dear, sweet mortals. Bye-bye. Brett's supposed to be Purple Man. Tonight was so much fun, and thank you for everything. We'll see you soon. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, I will see you all soon too. You know it. Oh god, I'm pressing all the buttons. Okay. Oh fuck, what did I press? Thank you. Okay. This and then. Oh fuck.